स्ट्रीम 2 गाइस, स्ट्रीम 2। इसकी माँ का इतना सारा टैग बोले, इसकी बहन कुछ तो चिल्ला रहा कोई को। नहीं चिल्लाना है रे अंशु, नको चिल्ला, नको चिल्ला। गाइस ये क्या है गाइस, यार देखो चूतिया बनाया है यार। इतनी जल्दी कौन स्टार्ट करता है भाई? ओल्ड कलर चाहिए ना।
Round, just go in for that mount control, maybe fight for those orbs, trying to get
The
something
biggest
going,
streamer is yet to
especially for that
come.
last round and whatever you could use for this one. Crashes is so ready with this Odin. Oh, this could be a lot of damage.
Certainly could be. Boaster ready, everything there. Look at the state of them. Trying to back away. Boaster actually getting a bit hungry for this. And Kayak going hunting too.
गाइस कल कमबैक तो था यार
No
फिर
idea.
से। ले
Kayak!
ले
Today! Phenomenal performance already. And
1v1 ही क्या दे, 1v3 कर दिया।
down in the doldrums here.
उसको
Bayer.
अकेले
This
अकेले
is
कोई को
a
पीक ले रहे फिर
hard
हौले बुल्ले ऐसा।
performance to come back on into that second half. I wanted to see them maybe have a bit of life in these
Pacific
final
region
rounds,
के
but
भाई
not getting past that first hurdle.
30 seconds left. X-Pharaoh still with 30 seconds left. He needs to try and save this weapon. Of course, Fnatic with huge bank and nothing to lose, and apparently should go hunting for him.
And it just keeps compounding the problems, right? This makes it feels like that you can't breathe. It's like a weight on your chest here, and RRQ are feeling the full force of Fnatic. 8-3.
चलो Fnatic,
It's a strong showing.
अगर आज अच्छा नहीं खेला तो मैं रिप्लेस कर दे तो बोस्टर को
RRQ
आके
has
नहीं तो।
one more chance in this attack to get
ये ना
around, but
मारा
the pressure
कैसे?
from Fnatic has been wonderful. I would have liked though for Boaster to be the one having the Odin and Crashes to be sending in the utility. Maybe that Seize and the Odin could have been the death of at least two of the RRQ players. But Kayak, and now he goes on the rifle. He has his ultimate Chronicle back on that operator.
अरे भाई
And it looks
जेनकिन
like
भाई
RRQ want to go for this rubble control for the last round of their attack.
बॉटम पर
Odin
अगर
is
कैसे
still
जेनकिन भाई।
here, this time obviously in the hands of Crashies. Has to respect it for now. Could assess the fact that there's already been maybe a cross towards Rubble now. Wants to confirm that. He calls in the rotations.
Cookie
We're going to
Rider,
see
huh?
Kayak leaning through
Chronicles.
towards the door. Boaster passing through CT. Now, this is a show of presence, and they go the other side. Now, they don't know about this, though. Maybe heard this rattle off a shot in the last round, but is that in the forefront of their minds? Chronicle waiting. Eyes locked on this corner.
Chronicle के पास जा रहे, Chronicle करो।
And the
Chronicle के पास
patience
जाओ।
just falling short. Calls for the one-way, dodges the flash, waits for the Prowler. Couldn't quite find the timing to thread the needle, but now they back away. He's read the next layer to RRQ's approach.
And all of Alpha Year's utility is already waiting on C for that second layer. He himself is also supporting. 40 seconds left, and RRQ still has to make a move.
Fnatic have done so well at clearing some of these question marks. That late haunt coming in, just making sure they know the lurk's still in play. Chronicle keeping that deep alignment. Kayak finds the stop. Hello, 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 hello. He's got the Chronicle's found on the other side. The spike. Chronicle. It's a massacre. Monyet trying to take steps forward. Delayed by the util. Out for its support. There is no easy path. There is no straightforward way through.
Alpha Zer भाई, Kazak भाई किधर देख रहे थे?
10 seconds. And it's certainly not a dream now. 2 kills, yes. But to find the other 3 was never going to happen here.
Easy. Next
9-3 Bayer. This has been a statement half from Fnatic.
Yeah, absolutely. They can be more than happy. They're
Alright,
usually
thank
on
you.
the other
Love you.
end of a 9-3. But
Thank
you
you,
know,
love
we
you.
still
Love
have
you,
the
love you
second
forever.
half to care for. So let's take a small break and we'll see you on the other side.
इधर लगा। कॉपीराइट देता है इसकी बहन को, लगा मैं कुछ खाने के लिए ला रहा हूँ, तुम लोगों को दिखाते देखो जबरदस्त है। घर जाएगा घर ये देखो घर मेरे पाँव में मार लगा हुआ है देखो है कि नहीं बोलो खाते तुम ना आय है मस्त रे कमबैक आरआर क्यों लंड से नहीं होता चलो आरआर क्यों कमबैक करी तो आरआर क्यों क्या करेंगे
So back here at 9-3, we're going to be checking in on that Coinbase econ report. I'm sure it's going to tell the tale pretty much of what we expect though, Bea. A very one-sided look coming in from Fnatic.
Yeah, I want to see the numbers from Chronicle. People barely getting to those double digits. And look at Chronicle, 147. Well, my main is a 14-2-5. So, yeah. Tell the story.
Yeah, he looks lethal today, does old Cron.
I think that on the other side, we need to
Strike
talk
rate
about Jenkin, right?
Yes,
we see that
please.
15, but I think it has to do with the difference between him playing on the
Boaster
Euro on this map and him playing on the race. I think that is going to play a very big and important part now that we move on to the defense. Because he loved getting aggressive, trying to get a little bit of a pick, put in a little bit of pressure, and then go back with that TP. He's not going to have that facility now. And I wonder what the plan is going to be for RRQ. Yes, they have the Omen, the Viper, and the Vice. They should have, technically, an easy time. Or an easier time.
Yeah, I'll go for easier. Again, though, they did pick up that pistol in the first half. We could either call that a blessing or a curse if you look at the rest of it. But they did pick up the pistol. So maybe this could give them a bit of a stabilizing factor, something to take off the stress here, because you saw by the it felt like it was trying to prove a point, but early contact made, a little towards B, a little towards C.
Taking a lot of time. Some utilities falling down.
Bot coming back. And there's nothing really stopped. Oh,
Camera!
A mini-map moment. It was a fumble there from Kushi. Open. He knew they were there. The flash confirmed it. The early peek confirmed it. And Kayak, he's going hunting. Again, they're going to make this hurt. Fnatic are pulling no punches. We'll say it again. Proactive in every angle. Again, explores CT. A little deeper look towards Waterfall. Any flanks? No. Kron's already got it. They are making RRQ reinvest everything just to clear this close space. Alpha. Again, on red alert down here, but the site's being retaken, but there's no bullets being placed towards Fnatic. Jenkin does draw blood, but there's still 4 more to clear. They've got to get a move on. Got to get towards that spike. Ow! Sharp as ever, Xfero's gone down, 21 HP, but the time he's buying is precious. 10 made for Fnatic. And it is a brutal beginning for RRQ.
Then finding the kill, 3 people pushing on
First shot,
finding the Vice, getting that first kill. We see Kaya going on the aggression. Alpha waiting in his back, just going with him as well. A little bit slower, of course, because race is what it is. I'm loving this isolating fights. Alpha, you're just moving like a dream. It's not only the vibes. Feeling it.
And I'm just worried that RRQ are crumbling under this. Genuinely, I'm worried because that was... They're looking almost scared in this scenario. Oh, and that's maybe why Kayak's not missing a shot. This shouldn't be much of a round, but the problem is it's going to put Fnatic on 11.
You say that, you should have seen Fnatic versus Genji.
Well, I like this though. Paint Shell could be big if the timing's right. Maybe it's too late in the day. Surely Monyet. Hello.
Nice one,
maybe the hero they need.
That's the spike.
Weapon found. This is huge from him. After a quiet start here, this is dreamy stuff. Wait, sorry, where's Alpha? Someone is looking. I think Xfero's keeping a glance on this. That's really smart. Okay, they've seen him. Alpha. Oh my god, stop! He still takes down Jenkin. That's a 3v2 though. The numbers are good here. Gifted by Monyet on his 3rd.
Spike here.
Knows where the spike is. Fnatic have to come to him.
Oh, Prowler can't do it.
Oh my god, come on, Finn. He's taken down Monyet in command here. Crazy guy now filling the void, and they look a bit hesitant about this. 30 seconds, and it's just shooting fish in a barrel. Crazy guy left with just that Marshall popping off shots. He's down to the ghost here. He could back away. He could give them the spike if he wants to. He could fall off from this. He doesn't need to take the fight right now.
How to throw a fucking round?
Oh, crazy guy with the red ball clutch. Necessary in this moment.
I do not want to say a spoken into existence, but Fnatic were struggling with this yesterday. And even though I like the look of them being a little bit faster in this executes, Monyet and the rest of RRQ so ready in the C side to stop Fnatic from taking the site.
Shot.
Just that heartbeat back in. Revitalized by that. Monyet setting that up is everything they could have dreamed of. It opens up a chance. Just a little bit of confidence could give them everything. But Chronicle doesn't want to give them much more. Now, Crazy Guy was like, you know what you guys are doing? I'll have a bit of that.
Have a taste of your own medicine.
That's
He
the one.
actually finds a couple of kills. It's 33 now.
Cleared. You can kind of see the shades almost of the protocol list here for Fnatic, even in this sort of round, identifying where that one was going to be, kind of going through the paces, getting the test over
Bro,
towards
kya
Rubble.
mara
Okay,
hai
what's
wo?
that B site looking like? Cool, let's have a little look towards C.
Yeah.
Everything proactive in this.
Crazy guy.
Does catch. I thought it might have been a bit late, but Cushy's
China
probably careful.
but
They
yeah.
are ahead of this. Yeah, they are very ahead of this. Crashies from down below. Gonna get the reward as well. Yeah, Vandal found. That could be a plant.
Yeah, Guardian and Vandal. Boaster going to get that spike down. Of course, RRQ respecting this position.
And if
taking
Boaster
their
goes
time.
towards Mound Bayer, he's had some mad clutches from here.
I think a couple of 3v1s, well,
Yes.
1v3s
Yes.
from his side.
But can Crashies alleviate some of that dodging?
Full pack of
Out of the
utility.
paranoia. He's still here though, and they fight forward. It's Crashies.
Oh
my god! How have they stolen that?
Kya rounds were, guys?
It was meant to be.
It's
The
round
turnaround
crazy,
for
round crazy.
RRQ, and it is crushed.
Back-to-back thrifties now. We thought that for a second things were looking better for RRQ, but Crashes, he just has a different opinion. He has a different plan for today. He's been having it the entire tournament. Time to stand up.
Come on, boy. You and me, baby. You and me, baby. Him and me. Him and me.
अरे Boaster भाई क्या
Just
कर
get
रहे
a room.
I-Series
Just get a
Boaster
room.
back at it. Giving it large, but let's look at what the protocols look like here. We were kind of seeing Fnatic going on that fact-finding mission in that previous round. That actually worked out in their favor. Ball's now changed up though. A quick rotation from RRQ, looking to try and keep pace here, where Fnatic are kind of hurting.
I have the spike.
Would have liked maybe Crashes trying to fight for that orb, having that
मारता है इसको
ultimately execute.
Ooh, what a shot from Monyet.
Spike down.
Stand stingers, man.
Crashy's head ringing after that one. Monyet's been the one to keep a
Tine,
couple of these rounds
Tine,
competitive,
Tine.
but a three-play stack. Kayak, you're good, you ain't that good. Ooh, that has cost him a lot.
मौत दिखी
Ball does get cleared.
Surely,
मौत दिखी
not
पट्टी को
back to back, right?
And you look at this map, again, I love that there's still control on this side, right? You've got Monyet kind of playing it in off maybe the paranoia. Looking to potentially set up, I think it's Crazy Guy over there. Yeah, it is. So Kron, I mean, he shouldn't have been able to get this far. That's my issue. He shouldn't have been able to get this far. Kayak's fallen, but Chronicle's still alive. He's pulling all eyes towards this way. Love coming in at the same time from Alpha. This is getting messy. Monyet is down low on HP as well.
मारने को
Alpha's
खाली
taken
एक ही
the
बुलेट लगना
space.
खत्म हो
Yes, there's a player nearby, but now has to respect that smoke.
To watch out when they go into the site.
Great from Crazy Guy though. Nice re-clear here. Tries to swing off it. Good spacing, good trading. This is
फिर
good
से
from
thrifty रे
RRQ.
बाबा
8 seconds now and Fnatic have found
तीन
no
run, तीनों
easy
thrifty.
approach.
मारेगा
Chronicle last alive and the time has gone from them. RRQ holding on to
फिर
this
से
player.
thrifty
Absolutely. Now back
50
to
है ये
back
भी.
to back.
बोलना वाला तो
Doesn't
one
matter
side.
what you bring
Force
into the
by
round, it's more
ठीक
what
है.
you do with it.
nice round
And
guys
RRQ, a very good idea of how to play with those stingers, the damage that they can do. Moni, I
Guys,
feel like in
कल
this
जो
round,
है match
we saw him right after the pistol in the eco, him getting a couple of kills. Him also feeling himself in finding those first ones.
I mean, Monyet, for me, has been pivotal so far.
Oh, yeah.
He's sitting towards the very tip top of the board. That's Crazy Guy. He sat there, you know,
Yeah,
defended
but
14.
the difference
मत
is
डाल
The
देते
value
Yeah.
is there.
Totally.
It's been exceptional for him.
Love the fact also we saw Crazy Guy using his ultimate. The round, you know, you can 100% win it. You should definitely invest in that.
And
This is a buy.
pace change here and a punish. Chronicle gonna catch
Deccan
Crazy Guy
Chronicle paper
instantly
wale.
off the rip.
A lot of Odin in this game.
Yeah.
Almost in every round, I must say.
I mean, and look at the buy that Fnatic have
अरे
forged
जल्दी
around
close
it as
कर
well.
दे बाबा. Close
This
करने
is,
में इतनी time लगा
they've
रहे
got
लोग
what they
तो.
could. Kayak's got a Vandal, you've got a Stinger and a Sheriff.
So here's the thing. Now with the men advantage, having Kayak's ultimate and also Crashies to get that information onto the site, you trigger some of Kushi's utility. Are you going to try and go for the C execute again?
But I quite like the deeper wall. I quite like that actually from Kushi here. Wonder if it does pay dividends at this point though.
Alt.
I'm gonna think maybe it's on B. They still haven't explored that part of the map.
You can see the Prowler going through that side. You can see maybe it's going to be Crashies testing for it. Yeah, doesn't hear it either. So I quite like this adjustment. It is testing the protocols.
Alt का जाग
If
भाई.
Kayak does go in, he probably would be alone at this point. Now, it does have the ult if he did want to use that as almost the bulldozer. and
खजाना भाई. मारो
as it
alt.
stands, the correct read until this rotation comes out from Fnatic. If they leave this C side of the map, the rest looks very vulnerable there.
Almost 4
30
players
seconds
from
left.
RRQ already ready on C.
Yeah, everyone they have is on that C side. They believed in it firmly, and it's wrong for now. It looks like it's going to be towards B. That's where the spike is. They've cleared through A. They've also seen nothing. This is getting curious. This should also be setting off some alarm bells about this retake potential coming in.
Spike planted.
Plants now down. And
Khatam.
Monyet.
Chronicle का game.
Carefully,
Chronicle का
slowly,
game.
cautiously. 2 players waiting to punish. All eyes turn towards the site now. The Flood waiting to come back in. Alpha a mile
Yeah.
away, but still here comes the pressure. Jemkin clearing Cushy there. He needs to speed up. He might just make it back in time, but now we're in uncomfortable positions. The C's, the Orb, the Diffuse gets ripped away from it. Monyet wants to go back though. A 2v2 and Alpha completely unconsidered gets away like a thief in the night.
Chronicle में
Fnatic
आ गया जो.
forcing it up to 12. I doubted the timing on it, but it worked out in the end.
And Fnatic were so slow yesterday. We know that they're so comfortable when the clock is running down, they still think time is on their favor. And for this round, at some point you might think it's a little bit overcooked. We saw Alpha so far taking such advantage of this advantageous 5v4 right at the beginning. Yes, the trades were coming in for RRQ. Are you really going to expect the Chronicle is pushing from behind with an Odin? You expect him to be playing from main and whatnot. Very good round, and now 7 rounds for Fnatic to close their map pick.
And already Monyet has fallen. Kayak, how you found 2 so quick? Jemkin feels like a footnote in Kayak's story so
Rotate
far.
कर लो, GG
A
खत्म
12
करो.
to 5. It
He
has
had to
been
show up.
one-sided.
GG guys.
Jemkin had to show up in this
Yep.
round.
Yeah, and he
GG
sadly hasn't.
GG.
Kayak has
Well
now
played, well played.
Nade again. Got everything for a Kayak round.
Waiting here though. Again, I like this tempo from Fnatic, pausing for a second.
can't
and
Good
arc.
freezing. I think that they need this too. You know, you already have the advantage. Wait and see if there's a response for them. You have all the utility from
Neeraj.
Alpha behind you. You can
Neeraj.
press the sword.
Yep.
Bomb buddy out.
Contact made. It's very, gotta be careful here. Doesn't take too much damage, but look at the util. Yeah, it's just such an easy punish for Fnatic when they tailor make this sort of take. And Cushy
player
falls.
standing.
It's just too simple. Fnatic, I've got to say
Easy
it.
था रे इन लोगों के लिए.
Looking like they have a
ah,
point
yay,
of
yay,
view.
yay, yay.
Boaster up to his usual business.
Easy
but
था रे
facing
ये
the
लोग के
tempo
लिए.
player. They came in looking mean today.
They've got all the
Achhe
moves,
naam
Lord.
aa rahe.
Everything is ready for a lower bracket run. On the other
Easy
side,
nahi
we see an RRQ showing up those maps without the deco, and it's not looking brilliant, but hey, they decided to go into Haven. That will be the next.
हेवन देखना है गाइस. बहुत दिन हो गया हेवन नहीं देख के मैं. मैं सो जाऊंगा स्ट्रीम पे. मैं को उठाओ कोई तब फोन करो. ठीक है. मैं तब तक सो जाता हूँ. नींद तो दबा के आ रही मेरे को. सतरंगा मेरे रंगा है जो इश्क का. लवड़े। सतरंगा है ये इश्क जोगी में है ये इश्क रे। दे दिया भोसले वाले को। आ जा रहा है। apa लटकोर लकी बताओ क्या हुआ? हैकर बोल के बता रहा क्या गाइस? हैकर बोल के बता रहा क्या? भाई क्या हो गया भाई? चल रहे लटकोर लक्की बोलते चेडी बोलते साले। ये क्या दबा लेके चल जा रहा है? मार रहा बहन पड़ा। रुको दो लोग मिल के मार रहे एक को। चल पटे पटे चल पटे दे दिया। पटे कहाँ है पटे? कहाँ है पटे लोग? लटकोर लक्की इज रेडी। आया आया बहन आओ आओ ना खले लटकोर लकी हेडशॉट दूर से साले। रुको 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 ये लो है क्या भड़वा? मारी भी साले को। अरे मार दिए क्या साले को? इसमें समझ में नहीं आता कौन मर गया कौन नहीं मर गया। टीममेट सतरंगा है इश्क रे। आना 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 साला लटकोर लक्की मारा। लैग हो रहा। चलो 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 क्या हो रहा पट्टी लोग? हाँ राउंड खत्म हो गया है। ज्यादा ही छोटा हो रहा। हाँ तो शुरू करो। चलो मैं अकेला हूँ, लोग 3 लोग हैं। बड़े भाई ये क्या है तो? निकले कितना मार लटकोर लकी। कितना मारो रे बहन के लोड़े को। गाइस कितना मारू गाइस, मारा ना मैं। मर गया बहन का। अरे मैं हूँ रे बाबा। कैंपर कैंपर देख। इधर से साउंड है यार एक। लेट्स गो। आजा आजा। ये दोनों बोतल वाले आओ आओ गाने में तो पट्टा। मारना 2 नंबर। नाइस शॉट। यही और एक भी यही। सेलिब्रेट करने भी नहीं देता रे। बड़ी गन आ गई साले के पास। आईसेक ICSCOCs। उसका बड़ी बना दी यार। चला साल भाई। ये तो नाइंसाफी है, सरासर नाइंसाफी है ये तो। सॉरी नहीं मरा रे सबसे ज्यादा बार। क्या है मारा रे। अरे क्या मारा लटकर लटकी को। मारा इसराइल मारा। लटकर लकी। से मारा बुल्ला? कहाँ से मारा लौड़े का बाल? अरे हेडा नहीं लग रहा क्या उसमें? खड़ा है बेटे कैसे कर इसको? अरे गाइस ये तो नाइंसाफी है, मारा ना इससे अच्छा। मेरी मारना मारना मारना, काटा अच्छा काटा साले डेरोटा। एक तो काटते रहो तो। एकदम कैंपिंग करके एक तो काट खचा उसकी गुंडा है अपन इधर का गुंडा गुंडा। बेटी चोद। स्टार्ट हो गया क्या मैच? स्टार्ट नियॉन खेल रहा मोने।
Oh, but it's been spotted. Mon yet knows about this. A bit of a trade out. But I like this. I like what we're seeing, kind of drawing this eye towards B, trying to draw this. But if anything, you've now got a brawl with the big boys down towards Long. A pop for the shield, but it doesn't save you now. Justin! Surprise appearance behind to find Boaster. Clears all three. It's beautiful work from RRQ.
Absolutely gorgeous from their side, getting all of that attention, all those eyes onto B, to have that beautiful draw, forcing Fnatic to have a response, putting some pressure somewhere else in the map. If you have 3 people defending on A, Chronicle is going to be stopped by that trapwire. His position revealed now for RRQ.
And I love that. Whether or not they were aware of how well they manipulated, Fnatic wanted to take back space. It worked perfectly with that pressure on B. Now, can they close this out cleanly? Chronicle and Crashies to try and mount some sort of resistance. Not looking likely. Last now, Crashies, a 1v5.
Flawless first round, baby.
I think we know the answer. And it's Crazy Guy to close. That is exactly what the doctor ordered for RRQ. A flawless beginning in map 2.
The resurgence for this team still has to begin on this second map. It would be the first map win in the tournament. So starting like this was such a beautiful play, such a good read from the side of Fnatic, reinforcing Kayak not playing alone, getting that tell and reacting to it instantly.
Let's go.
Clean round for them. We know that there's been some 50s.
Just keep it clean, right? This has to be a really methodical build back up for RRQ. And Fnatic gonna make a bit of a wild play. Why not? You've only got classics. It's the sheriff in the hands of Alpha that you've got to keep an eye on. And I do check it.
I must wait a moment.
Actually didn't get the full information at all. A lot more players have slipped the net than they expected. You can see the surprise on their faces. Crazy Guy, doesn't matter. Monyet looks lethal. Already flying back in here. They're dealing with it well. Is out for the last one alive. And he's not in the action. You can see them trying to find a bit of stability, slowing it down. Now, at this point, they were still fine. They haven't lost out on too much. It was a couple of pistols here and there. But these remaining weapons, they'd love to keep. Alpha. Oh my god, it's good on one, but it's not good enough on the rest. RRQ pass the first test.
A lot of classics coming in from Fnatic, just that one sheriff. I think it's a very, very fair trade. This is also one of the reasons why we're so excited to get onto Haven, see Monian on the duelist.
Lovely.
I expected a different one, but I'm going to take the Neon if it means this kind of reaction, this being fast, being on the game, all eyes on. I am so for it.
But we saw this before. We saw this on Lotus. The first 2 rounds were picked up by RRQ, and they only ended up with 5 in the end. So this would be where we start to build in. This would be game on. You can see the early beginnings of the Monyet looks hungry, already starting to try and take that space, up out the chest a bit, but it's Kayak to win out this fight. So backs away, job done. That's a tick in the box for him.
Still, Alfire in position in case RRQ still wants to go for this A hit.
But I like the proactivity elsewhere on the map from Fnatic too, this mid-walk. It's a bit audacious in a 5v4. You don't need it necessarily, but I like it. Jemkin, the one to be tested now. Is he up for it? He is. Clears Kayak. This is good. This is heads-up work. Now they can pause for a second.
Goes for this.
No, it's certainly not. They can pause. They can slow things down for a sec here. They have got a nice 4v4. They've now shown presence across the map. This keeps Fnatic wanting that back, but the freeze doesn't work. Crazy Guy just maybe eyes off the prize for a moment and gets punished. This now encourages Xfero to go for his own wonder, but Alpha's no slouch in this. He's already on the case. Maybe not clean on the first attempt, but there does open up a chance for a trade. This now feels a bit scrappy. Individual near on, but a clear sight is a clear sight. Kushi's done well on this. Tap on the spike, but Boaster's not going to disrespect the dart. He's going to wait it out a moment. Has to wait a couple more for Chronicle to get closer.
He's going to take a small peek, going to force out that drone. He's going to be spotted, but as you're saying, Chronicle's just joining the fight. 2v2 situation.
They hear the steps as well. Jemkin going to be blinded. Now it's game on. Kushi forced to swing. Punishes! It's dreamy from Kushi. Converting this bonus is everything they would have wanted here. After a shambles of a first map, that is how you start things off.
Love the patience that they've had working around the map, thinking about the tells that Fnatic could have if Kayak was going to have that presence on mid that he did not only show at the beginning of the round yesterday, but also in that position beneath the window, finding that kill, just forcing Fnatic to keep clearing. We know that they've been very insistent in keeping and retaking that A control. Kushi as well, seen him on the Soba, he's been so good this tournament.
So good. A standout in what was a bleak beginning for RRQ. He was the one who picked up the pace. Speaking of pace, Monyet back to business. Fighting down long, and speaking of fights, Boaster's failed his there. Jemkin all too aware. These smokes, these plays that Fnatic make him feel, I don't want to say readable, but similar, right? There's a lot of tape of Fnatic here, and someone I do want to talk about in this round, unless it gets a bit messy, is Alpha. It's rare he underperforms. But
yesterday he did not have a good Haven.
No, he did not. And even he was saying on his socials that he wasn't that happy about it. It's something that I want to see more from him on. We know the potential is there. It's rare to see him having an off game. This is a chance to make up for it. But a slowish start, 2 to 3, not exactly the worst in the world, but again, you hold it to a high standard when you talk about the young wonder kid. But this round shouldn't be the one that they get too much of a fight back on. RRQ need to be able to handle their business here. I don't want to see silly mistakes.
Would you consider that a silly mistake?
I mean, Kayak hitting that shot, it just feels like it's a Kayak moment. But in the meantime, what they've done is really good. They've taken control of this C site. They should be able to get into a good post plant here. And there shouldn't be too many worries.
Giving Jemkin that spike, so he's 1 away from his ultimate. That could definitely make the difference on the next round.
Jemkin is the one who's probably going to receive the vast majority of Fnatic's attention. First player swings off the back of the clone, but now Monyet there to support, slows down the tempo. Crazy Guy going to try and disconnect away towards long as well. Time being bought here.
Kayak on the flank now with that Stinger.
And it is Stingers though. You can see the range being held by Xfero as well. He wants to keep it at arm's length. Having a little bit of a back and forth, but again for Kayak, it's
shot Kayak.
Okay, that's a shot. But Jemkin quells that threat down to the 3v3, but time is going to start ticking here. They still have the smoke towards the spike. He's still got Monyet beating him down. This guy's aim is nothing to be underestimated, as Chronicle is a formality. RRQ are here to play.
4-0 in the score right now. RRQ with 3 very important ultimates for what could be one of the rounds that defines this half. Fnatic back on track and to get some money in. But if Monyet and Jemkin keep finding the effect that they are, same goes for Kushi.
We're back, boys. Let's play the game.
They could actually be very back.
I don't disagree. You're starting to see them firing as well, right? You're seeing individuals.
In the way that you're doing it.
And look at the ults as well, near on snowball round. Now, an operator for Boaster, it's not going to be... I mean, if they've done their homework, it wouldn't be a surprise to see it in his hands either. Normally sits towards that B side, top side, gets that nice deep line to play with.
Constant fight for A, but Kaya gives up very, very quickly. He doesn't want to go up against Ponye and Chemkin, not in this state.
Again, just trying to keep Fnatic making these kind of very hard calls, right? A lot of question marks on the map, and that's a good audio cue for Monyet. If they're aware that generally there's a play tucked maybe towards sewers, hearing them already back away is pretty good, and I don't think the Outdrain actually managed to press that corner. Monyet's got two players to deal with. Kayak wants the information, Monyet wants a fight, he wants blood, and he's going to only get his own left on the floor here. Nice follow-up from Kayak as well. It's clean. The spike does go down. That's a big bit of info, but pressure on the C side as well. I'm a little bit baffled by this one. Jemkin almost over-succeeding here, pulling the players away, and now they want to make the most of that.
4v3, Boaster now peeking on to see with that operator.
Oh, shot!
Ooh, Kron, that was kind of nasty. Boaster, shot goes astray. Thought that was his all day not to beat. But a 2v4 Bayer, these are the rounds that can break the spirits if you lose them. How can
Spike
they...
is going to go down.
Jemkin goes walking out one like this. He's got to get proactive. They need to get a kill.
Timing.
Yeah, he's been spotted. This would be a miracle if he even survives. He does get down Kron. That's still valuable damage, but a very heads-up jump spot from Crashies. Noting out Xvero. Swings in. Can't deal with it. Fnatic re-clear the site. 3 stay standing.
Yeah, Boaster, a couple of operator shots, no kills. Maybe just give it back. Just give it to Kayak. And speaking about Kayak, him finding 2 in almost all of the rounds was something that we saw yesterday, and apparently we are going to see today on the side of RQ. I expected Jenkin to go with his ultimate, the TP out, something that I have seen him done in the past multiple times. Gather the information on one side of the map. If you do not like it, you go back, rearrange with the rest of your team, and just go on a very hard execute somewhere else in the map. Fnatic, they find their footing a little bit just for this round.
Now, historically, Alpha, when you're talking numerics with his ultimate, was very, very good. He seemed to always get that. But it has not been a good couple of days for him. He's had a hard couple of performances as of late here. Again, this became the Fnatic comp, right, so people started to read into it well. How do RRQ keep this in mind? Kayak's got his as well to throw into the mix. Player spotted, Monyet on the hunt! This guy is so bloodthirsty, I love it! Sheer aggression! And he doesn't look like he's particularly stopping either. He is off to the races! Oh my god. Oh! RRQ are bounding into the site! Crashies left isolated, he's in trouble because look who's hunting him down. Does well on one, but it doesn't matter. Oh my god, this is unreal. And again, Boaster needs to start landing these. He's got to start landing these because Kushi's just taken away Kayak. It's time to save. You're going to be walking away with that.
You have to. 100 credits in the bank for him.
The tempo that RRQ are playing with is just gorgeous, Bayer. I love this.
But it is so necessary for them.
Wow.
They've been struggling so much.
Wow! Swear!
More alive for the side of RRQ back on the
Bachare
board with
bolta
that
aur
5-1. But as I was saying, they've been struggling so much with that A control. They're like, you want to fight?
Let's
you
go.
sure you want to fight?
Yeah.
Okay, let's freaking go. We have 2 duelists. All of this.
Oh,
but
जब
not
कूद के गया
shooting when
मौने
he saw
तब
Moni
दिखा
walking
उसको
in,
स्क्रीन पे
just trying to
दिख
work
रहा
with that
उसको
trigger discipline. We see all of the tells.
And I have to point out Xvero here. For me, yes, obviously, Monyet looks super explosive, exciting, taking the space, all of this sort of stuff, yes. But Xvero is still checking that cubby, still checking that corner. Great
He's that second
spacing,
layer, right?
Yes.
Moni's
Wow.
nothing without him.
Correct.
Wow.
And that great spacing, even clearing back towards quad as well. It's so nice seeing this. It feels like they've suddenly got confidence after a map 1 that felt lacking, I think is the best, fairest way to put it. But this is the team that scares people, right? They can shoot so damn well. Jemkin's on 8-1. Easy to miss when you've got Monyet flying into the site.
Totally.
But this guy is right there. It's cost Fnatic an early time out here. Round 7, they think, right, coming into this, we kind of need to slow the roll. We've got a bit of a weird buy, but we've got plenty of ults.
Exactly. They're going to have 4 ultimates to use. Boaster's also 1 away from his, so it could be a full bingo for them with the ultimates, as we're saying. Buy is going to be not the best, but so many things that they can do. We saw it in the past. What we also see is a judge in the hands of Monyet. And with how fast he's been entering onto every single one of the sides, I'd be very scared. This is giving Jig. This is giving Jink with the
Jing
race
energy.
and the oh god.
Oh, wait, no. Has he
Disgusting.
gone for the stinger instead?
No.
I know. Devastating.
Boo.
Okay, but 5-1.
Oh,
Make it
I
hurt.
thought of Heretics for a second. Sorry.
Make this hurt. RRQ, you had a rough map one. Show us who you are. Show us why you had that first place in APAC. Show us why people were eyeing up Jemkin like he was the second coming of Christ. This guy was everything to them, and I like this change. Again, this early kind of expectation, right? They've set this idea. There's going to be pressure. There's going to be a lot of players behind it. And Fnatic have reacted as they feel as though they should. They put 5 players to this. And all the meanwhile, they're walking middle. They're already in the door. RRQ getting that plant down. Fnatic are being out-called on this.
Spike planted.
Spike's gonna go down. A lot of noise from
Out of
Moniet.
charges.
Nothing is going to be spotted. And all the positions from RRQ. Kushi already taking control of that garage, clearing it out with the drone. The paranoia not going to hit.
Nice shot.
Crashes is going to hit on Pharaoh.
Yeah, okay. Let's,
Okay.
let's don't make
Okay.
Boaster jealous.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
But
Forgot
there's
he's
still
taken.
a post plant, right? There's still a post plant here that is gonna be hard to break because of the time. You can hear it. The clock's already ticking. So it's gonna be down to the wire. And Moniet will happily invest the ult if it means the round's secured. And he's just gonna go nuclear. Look at him farming them up, dropping the bodies until Crash is denied. But this is round 1. Again, I love what we are seeing. RRQ playing with the conditioning. They know that Moniet's been in their head. They know that they've had to try and deal with him. And they punish this here.
Yeah, especially with a lower buy, a force kind of, to getting a couple of rifles in. Having this response, as you're saying, putting in Moniet, making all that noise, using all of that utility. But especially in this later moments, we see Moniet getting the kills, yes, but you wouldn't be anything without the Kushi using the recon, without Crazy Guy. Like, there's so many things going on to why this was such a good round for RRQ.
And they can't stop though.
Still,
You
full
can't-
bingo, full house for the side of the
Monya.
Fnatic. We saw that the round on the attack
हो
that RRQ got
गया।
on Lotus was with all of this.
मोन्य बड़ा है नटखट छोटा सा है पटकट मोन्य
You can see the temptation for it,
Monya.
they're going for it, and it's all a ruse. They're gonna
बुल्ले
put Sparrow out here, that's
मिला दिया मोन्य
player, and all in the meantime they're building towards C. It's a win out for Boaster though, punishing Sparrow, but the C side
कहीं
now
पिस्तौल से मारा?
open. You're looking at the likes of Chronicle over on this side. He does have support from Kayak. They've got plenty of ults to play with if they feel like they need this still. A lot to be utilized. Into the post plan, we look at the utility. Moniet still got plenty. Jemkin still
I'll
a bit.
take easy
Crazy Guy has
retake,
a
easy
full house
retake.
basically in place, so a lot to be done here. And this
Moni is key.
position
Moni.
could be everything.
Beta
Timing,
nahi, Moni,
patience,
beta matti
pace
nahi,
with
Moni,
one. He gets the info on the others. They now need to ready themselves for what's coming. Spots out the player and gets the kill. Jemkin's done well. Layers to this though. Kushi's still going to be in position for this. They can't make the most of this ult coming out from Kayak. They've been denied this. Kushi's in trouble though. Overwhelmed by Kron. And now down to 2. Jemkin and Crazy Guy, can you hold on to this up against the 3 of Fnatic? Defuse started. Denied the first player peeking, but the defuse is coming in. They can't take him away from it.
Fnatic finally manages to get a round on the board. We
पांच
said that the
ulti
ultimates
लगे,
were
एक
going to
round
be important
जीतने।
right at the beginning of the round.
पांच
Crash is
ulti।
trying to create some conditioning for it. I
चार
have to say,
ulti।
did
Aiso
Boaster not
मारा
have
क्या
weapons?
नहीं
He
मारा
got a
Aiso,
kill with
चार
the
ulti
classic. I don't know
लगे।
if he ran out of bullets.
It wouldn't be the first time he's
Yeah.
forgotten to get a
Happened.
weapon. Or
Still.
armor, or anything.
Such a good round. I think that at some point we still saw a little bit of that face of that disjointed Fnatic, but they've been so good on this retakes.
But it did come down to a 1v1 with 3 ults
Yeah.
invested, right? This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
still, if you're looking at it just kind of bigger picture, I wouldn't say it's even bad for RRQ.
Alpha needs to ult, get a kill, go back on the board if Fnatic wants to bring this back.
And they are avoiding that A side of the map. They don't fancy it this time, at least not early. Glance towards B. And a patient Kayak waiting for any pixel to show, but speaking of patience,
अब किधर जाते guys in
both sides
that was
trying to get a
quick.
read. Yeah, it was.
कौन से 2-6
Yes,
6-6 कर रहे थे बस
Change of
मैं
pace,
तो
a
4-6
gear
कर रहे
shift
थे
from
4-8
RRQ.
कर रहे थे 6 अच्छा ही
They do have this ult to bank on. Util being cleared. Chronicle just trying to drift in behind that though. So they've got to be quick on their toes if they want to try and punish it, and he doesn't. Doesn't swing the window by any means. Backside now controlled, and they're going to get the plant from this.
I'm surprised that Alpha does not stop that from happening. He lives his ultimate, that kill contract for the retake, trying to get someone out of the fight. X-Fair waiting way behind, expecting Fnatic to, again, push through A.
Well, they have been punishing those flanks a lot, right? The amount of times we see a player behind, but this mostly is going to go through CT, through Garage. There's that ult, and there's the catch. Jemkin taken. In the meantime, the Paranoia then pushed in. You can see Monyet picking up the space, and the 1v1 is done by Alpha against the odds. Monyet cleared backside, but then Jemkin on the 1-2 punch. That's the player we've been waiting to see.
That is the Jenkin that we were promised and has finally arrived in Toronto. 7 on the board for RRQ, looking like a renovated and different team on this Haven.
They look revitalized, Bayer. This looks like confidence. This looks like the team we wanted. They are taking Fnatic to a map 3 if it keeps on at this pace.
They needed to believe in themselves. They needed to believe they deserved that top seed, that they could do such things against a team like Fnatic. This composition from them has been stolen and tried out by many teams, one of them being them, so they know exactly where their weaknesses are.
And again, in my mind, that makes Alpha worse. Yes, he's absolutely nailing this. And this is now compounding issues for Alpha. The confidence won't be there. The ult didn't go well. It almost felt like he was hesitant to invest it. But a mid-walk is their reaction. Not going to connect. It looked close, but not close enough. Going to try and prop up Alpha, play him into this. But again, RRQ are no slouches. They're going to go through the checklist.
Yep.
And they shouldn't be making errors. They can take their time here. They don't have to play at the tempo that Fnatic would want.
Fnatic, of course, money's not the best. Too many rounds on the side of RRQ. Taking their time, and Alpha is trying to go for a time in here. Crazy guy. And this round for him.
Yeah, this is exactly what RRQ were dreaming of. Played in well with the curiosity of the Fnatic players. Probably just Alpha wanting to feel like he can get into this game. 3-9 is a quiet game.
I think he must have felt a little bit, unlucky when he got on the ult, and it was like, oh, is the guy that is 13 and
Anyone else?
Yeah, please. I think he needed that for confidence. Yes. And RRQ just walking
30 seconds left.
onto A.
Yeah, this is just beautiful to witness.
Just passing by.
Really solid. I normally would get a bit nervous around this time just because it does get a bit late here. There's always a chance it could go wrong. As the way they're playing, I don't have that much fear. And that's why RRQ continue their path here. 8-2, Fnatic floundering under the pressure of this. Really upset potential in the making.
Absolutely. RRQ knew what they were doing, choosing this map. They knew the Fnatic played yesterday, they saw no surprises in the picks. They said, ooh, we know this comp. We know where we can fight you, and we know what to stop it. We know where we've struggled against. And just like we saw on map number 1, Fnatic are now requesting their second timeout. Of course, in map 1, it was RRQ using both of them in that first half. But with a couple of rounds left on the attack, they need to get something else on the board. We're speaking about, what was it, the one after Pistol and Eco, right?
Yes.
And then we had, no, it was after, because they won the bonus. It's coming back to me. But there's been rounds with a lot of utility invested, a lot of ultimates, very expensive ones, and never in comfort. We're speaking about a Fnatic that was going from flawless to flawless in Lotus, and that right now RRQ finding this Haven, this double duelist. Jemkin is back online, and just following him is Monyet. Oh, I want a big cheese too. I don't know what a big cheese is. Should I say that?
I don't know either. I wasn't even paying attention to it. I was just going to say that, honestly, and I'm not even trying to, ham it up for the crowd, so I'm not going to yell it, so maybe they won't even really notice, but the Toronto crowd's kind of been sick.
Yes.
They just cheer for good Valorant, which is rare. I like that. Big fan.
They remind me a lot of the Japan one.
Ooh, good shout.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, glazing over. Time to focus. Fnatic, let's see if you can recover anything these last couple of rounds, right? And again, though, in this moment for RRQ, they can flip the script themselves, right? They can come back into this pool. Yeah, nice timeout, guys. Anyway, we're going to just change things up. Good luck. Now, it's going towards C. Chronicle is deep within enemy territory, and he is dead. Bye-bye. Monyet back to the side. He did actually get Jemkin down, which is wild. Hold on. Ooh, I thought that was on the money. It wasn't for the second time. But the plant's going to be coming in now. Garage pressure probably from Alpha coming in soon, but Monyet's doing wonders. Didn't even catch that one. But for now, you look at what they've got in the post plant. Still got that paranoia, still got a lot to play with here. And Alpha's got to be an instigator. We've got to see the man, the Wonder Kid himself. He needs to make an appearance. And it looks like RRQ trying to bolster the numbers on the site, and here he goes. Alpha strides in, kicks down the door, couldn't get the second. Crazy Guy denies now, Boaster fills the space. Pressure from CT. Looking to try and close the net together though. It's not working out when Monyet is doing these sort of things. RRQ defying expectations now. Keeping Fnatic on only 2 rounds.
I absolutely love that out of the 2 timeouts that we've seen this half, we see such curated rounds for the side of RRQ. Again, just being very, very fast on the execute. On the other side, we see an Alpha that is not hitting the shots. It doesn't matter that he has a shield to go with. We see an RRQ that is hitting everything. And it didn't even matter that Jemkin went down at the beginning of the round.
And now it's not an over game, right? It's still not even an over half, but I do start considering map 3. And a loss like this weighs heavy, right? We have to talk about the mental effect this could have on Fnatic, even after you throw in what happened in game 1 they played. But back to what was working, Monyet on a run. Tries to keep the tempo high here. Sets an expectation, and they bite on the bait. Look at those 4 players. They're quick to react though. They've decided, yeah, there's nothing behind that. We've cleared it. I like this late pressure through Sewer as well. That could potentially catch him. No, Monyet wins that fight. Boaster goes down. On towards C, they want to try and take the fight on this. And look who's winning it! RRQ demolishing Fnatic. Kron trying to hold some space here. Kron's not in, but it doesn't even matter as it's only Crashies alive in a 1v4. Oh, this is outstanding from RRQ.
A 10-2 half. We were speaking about how good Fnatic was looking after a 9-3 on Lotus. But a 10-2 with Fnatic looking so lost for answers. Let's see if they can change things up on the second half.
It's over. Esports is a $2 billion industry now, but it all started in dingy basements and cramped living rooms.
From how the pros train to how the money flows, this G2 and MasterCard series breaks it all down. 12 episodes, packed with insight and lessons for anyone looking to understand the world of competitive gaming. Ready to learn the game behind the game?
Stay tuned for what's next.
You won't want to miss it.
मास्टर कार्ड क्या बोलती पब्लिक क्या गाइस आरआरक्यू क्या हो गया आरआरक्यू लोगों को नेक्स्ट मैप कौन सा है नेक्स्ट मैप कौन सा है गाइस एसेंट चलो ठीक ही है ठीक मैप है बोरिंग मैप तो नहीं है बोरिंग मैप नहीं चाहिए अपने को एसेंट ऐसे से अच्छे मैप लाओ है 14 कई को वाइब्रेट होचे अच्छी रही स्पोर्ट्स वर्ल्ड कप अरे भाई सपोर्ट करो रे ऐसे इंडियन आर्क को सपोर्ट करो गॉडल वाडल जो भी है और इंटेक्स कौन सी टीम सेलेक्ट हुई वो उसको सपोर्ट करो इंडिया ओपी कर दो इंडिया ओपी कर दो यार लाइव जाना अनम्यूट
To 2, Fnatic will be feeling this now. The likelihood of a map 3 becomes real. And then the chance of survival comes down to 1 map. And it all compounds, Bayer. It all becomes a little too real, and those echoes of Shanghai get closer and closer. We get ourselves ready for the second half, but this is starting to feel like the tempo is shifting.
Yeah, and as we can see by the Coinbase Econ report, Jemkin is on 1. We were saying that about Chronicle on the previous map, but Fnatic are finding today the warp sphere, the form that RRQ proved to have in Pacific. They're showing it today. They're showing it in this second map. They are not defeated after that first Lotus. And a map that has always been so good for Fnatic is about to take them onto somewhere they might not be as comfortable.
Yeah, we don't know yet. That is into the dark, but it's not over. 2 rounds isn't a lot though. It takes 1 mistake, one snowball round, 1 all ultimates online.
And with the pistols that have been going, Lauren.
Yeah, or 1 Jemkin round, 1 Monyet round. Look at the score. Look at the state of those 2. absolute monsters. We go into the second half now, and it is going to be sweaty palms for Fnatic here. They need a pistol, and that's not how you start it.
Yeah, Alpha cannot seem to
Shield
connect on this
open up
Haven.
your fire.
And him going first with that Sheriff. Not finding out he's about to buy as well.
Well,
Stack it. Read अच्छा कर रही है
start
यार
of the
ये लोग को.
end, potentially. As we wait, look at the
क्या ही
presence
read कर
on
रहा है?
this side.
मस्त
4
read कर रही है.
players for RRQ, all here. With that smoke going in, they feel confident in the hole. They know where they are. The paranoia divine. It divides the approach, but actually Chronicle 6... Hello? Hello? Sorry, how is Cushy alive? And how did Fnatic just win that fight? They had no right to be able to do this.
कैसा निकाली ये round?
Somehow walking in towards
Oh,
A,
vibrator-
deep in enemy
इनका
hands,
नहीं
and they
आने
walk
सा
out
होगा
with player's
रास्ते में.
advantage. Xfero has
मैंने
a
stun किया
mountain
Cypher
to
को.
climb.
Cypher नहीं.
Right,
सुबह?
left,
किसको
center,
stun
just
किया?
about every position, all
खुशी को
complementary.
stun.
How do you try and divide that? You don't.
Chronicle
Chronicle
भाई.
had a round when they really had no right to.
तुम्हारी salary increased.
Chronicle,
भाई.
brilliant on that first map. And a round that, of course, Fnatic needed. If they
Hey,
want
man,
to even
keep
make
it
this
green,
competitive, of course, it had to start in the
Kalle,
pistol.
Kalle, gore,
Or
gore, Kalle,
they've gone in
stun
pistols
करा.
before. We
उन्होंने
know what
stun
happens
देखो,
on that
खुशी.
second one. Maybe that overconfidence.
Yelle.
Even though this corner wasn't checked, and it meant the death for Kayak. It's a round that goes in Fnatic's favor, and that is something that they haven't heard in a while.
It's been a drought.
So that they can
Nice
keep
boys.
their head in the
All right,
game.
There we go. There we go. There we go.
He needs a bit of it, old Boaster, given the
Revealing area.
battle cry here, but what a shot from
हमारा.
Kayak.
You cannot doubt in
सांस लेने
second
का
round
मौका
if there is
मिलेगा.
even one rifle, it has to go to Kayak.
This guy is monstrous in
Ara-
his work.
Shot
And
down.
Crashy's concise as ever. Plays it well. No loose threads being found here.
I like that. You use the second round, you've gotten that opener, you go and farm some orbs, thinking about the length
अरे
that
उधर से
this
पूछे
half
water.
could
Oh
have.
god, oh god, oh
Oh
god,
my.
what are we doing? What are we doing? Stop faffing about. What are we doing? Okay, thank you, Alpha. Thank you for
हेड कैसे
remembering
मार
who
रही
you
है भाई
are.
तुमला?
Bloody hell.
बैगन
I
की
didn't
मेरी.
love seeing that, Bayer. That made me get nervous.
सीधा सिर
Chronicle
पे
is
मारता
going to be
रे.
on the half. On the
Spike
front,
drop.
sorry.
पूरा left right मार लो.
And now Alpha is going to be the one farming his ultimate. The spike can be planted anytime.
खा लो रे
And
बैगन.
Crazy
उन्हें
Guys
फेंक
just
देता.
wandering around.
उन्हें
With his
उठाता,
classic
उन्हें
on
फेंक
the
देता,
other
उन्हें
side of the
उठाता,
map.
उन्हें फेंकता, उन्हें
So,
उठाता.
plan to play. Alpha going to get a lot of farm for that. And again, you're looking at him getting close to that ult.
ऐसे आ रहा पापा.
Going to need to see him do
Crazy
probably
guy.
better than the first half. Which, again, you've got to feel like there will be a lot in the tank for him if he can just get himself activated here. And he needs a farming round, right? Get the confidence building. And normally we wouldn't have that discussion.
पीछे
but
देख रहे.
maps can certainly make those issues occur. Now, overall bigger picture, Fnatic can be
10-4.
happy with that.
I don't know if there was a rifle there they're trying to get, but celebrating is also important. Now, on the previous half, we saw RRQ getting that bonus as well. Thank God that Alpha didn't go down here because I think that that would have messed with his confidence
क्या
massively.
मारा रे? क्या मारा? क्या?
But again,
क्या मारा अल्फा से?
Fnatic, they're no stranger to a comeback. I think to me it starts in the bonus round. I know that they're comfortable when the scores hits 11,
Sure.
but for them, I think
got you.
confidence-wise as well, for the rest of the tournament, it goes over there. And for the side of RRQ, you want to continue here. You want to go to that third map. You already proved it on the first half.
Yes.
तोड़ दिया उसका वो.
Again, they don't need to overly hurry this RRQ. I don't want to
तोड़ दिए.
make see them making kind of
कैसा तोड़ा TP ने?
not silly investments, I guess, but they don't need to overplay their hand. They've got plenty of rounds to play with here. Let's see them keep some composure. Yes, Fnatic, always solid in this. They'll always give you a fight back. You know, there is caliber to this team for a reason. And a nice attempt there from Kayak, but forced away. Now, RRQ going to clear sight. They now know it's a deeper off-site post plant. How do they manage this one? Well, that's certainly not going to help things. Sorry, crazy.
Stick it, stick it,
Someone
stick it.
stop it defusing!
Stick it!
Shatter! Fnatic! 5 against them and they steal the defuse!
Everybody just putting their bodies in front of the diffuser. A Red Bull clutch for the side of RRQ. All the kills are going to be there, but of course that is the 11th.
Look at this! Look at this! Like, well, you know, you watch this round at this point, you're like, nah, it's fine. Wait,
और सब तो गाना
wait.
नहीं
Crazy guy, oh
It's
my
like the feet and everything.
But it's so selfless, as said, just diving in front of him, willing to die for the cause. RRQ RRQ make it up to 11. And Fnatic will be reeling from that. Devastating, but a costly round, of course. xffero takes a moment to get out of what could have been danger there for himself.
He will never wait again, I'll tell you that. Look at the position also for Monier. Speaking about how Fnatic wanted to fight that A side, it's just him with all this space. He's going to find a lot of friends very soon.
How much does he get? He was the danger in the first half, and now he's got a lot of players, and he can't get past the first hurdle. Kayak with a good clear, keeping Fnatic on the warpath. And a re-clear towards middle as Chronicle is waiting. Very good read from Chronicle.
Where is everyone hiding?
Great impression. And this should be the slam dunk now, really. No surprises for Crazy Guy and Kron. Good tag as well towards xffero.
Having the position in both of the players, think about how Crazy Guy and xffero, well, most of the people for RRQ, even though they were able to get that round, hold on. Okay. The economy wasn't the best. So getting the kills here is also very important for Fnatic. Remove those rifles.
Yeah, and even in the loss, obviously 5 of them were alive, so they get to build their finances pretty substantially throughout these last couple of rounds. Judge, not really gonna be... Crash is gonna catch him. And it's a step back now for Fnatic, slowly taking the walk.
Very important as well to have Chronicle getting those 2 kills on mid. How do you solve him? I think it was Jenkin with pushing with the... Was it an operator or was it a Vandal?
Idiot.
Not too sure.
Let's see. Oh, never mind. We're not going to see it. Yeah.
Unlucky. Prius on the replay is crazy. Now, we got classics, right? So it's just weather the storm here. It's that slow build back, right? Again, normally I'd say you wouldn't get many rounds against Fnatic like they did in the third. So you're going to have to do it the hard way now. Fnatic start just rebuilding, and it's a lot off the back of, I've got to say as well, Chronicle. He's doing very well. Crashies too, having very good performances here. It's not your big dogs really though. Kayak and Alpha haven't been, you know, 1v5ing rounds like we've seen before. It's been somewhat average from them, which is surprising when their average is normally excellent. But Kayak, he heard it. He fancies getting back into this. Plays Crazy Guy. But this round isn't one that I'm all that mindful of. It is just classics. Fnatic, as long as they don't, you know, forget to maybe kill the person using the spike, they should be fine.
This is also very important, right? They're clearing the rest of the site. Yes, there are 3 players alive, but you want your finances to be as clean as possible. Yes, the bank is wonderful for them. But again, if they want to close this in the second map, they're going to need way Kushi also, one of the players that we're highlighting. I really want to see his development on this second half, especially for Sova, so close to his ultimate as well. I don't want him just as a support player. I think that he has so much more to give to this RRQ roster.
Very much with you.
Cinematographer.
And Jar looks very suspect. Kayak, oh, I thought he got the second. I was about to take my headset off.
A-shot with the
It's all good in the end though, but the ults have been farmed. You got to look towards it. Kayak's got his. Alpha's got his. Crashy's only 2 away. Boaster, 1 up. We've got a lot of them building here. Now on the other side for RRQ, this is a big purchase for them, Bea. And they are just on that verge now where this becomes a potential turnaround for
Exactly. I mean, if RRQ is to lose the next round, it's time to call a timeout first.
Yep.
Because he would be a 5-1 in the half for the side of Fnatic. Jemkin on that operator. Need to cover up from B.
Cutting through.
What's the look from Fnatic to begin with? This looks like an early fight towards A. Chronicle, normally a safe pair of hands though. I don't see him making many errors. Kayak quickly clearing that C site.
Over there.
Breaking that utility. Spots the camera, spots the trip.
Good choices. These are all the right choices thus far, right? They've managed to navigate away from most of the threats. Clean plant, deep post plant as well with a lot of ults to bank on. This is very, very good thus far.
Same at xffero. Chronicle has to be in the back. Probably finding Monier fairly soon.
This retake means so much to RRQ. A tag could be lethal now.
Okay.
And into the site. Paranoia going to find Boaster. Gonna get himself out of dodge, but that's 3 players now pushing back in, and Kayak misses his opportunity, backs away towards Long, and now Hunter's Fury layered on top. They're all now literally shooting fish in a barrel. It's a very clear, straight shot. Defuse! It's been happening again! How are we seeing this again? Get me that on the replay. How the hell have RRQ stolen away another round?
If it ain't broke, don't change it.
True.
It worked for RRQ, 5v5 retake. And just by that ultimate, forcing players out. Fnatic thinking that they had what it takes, that maybe that Alpha was going to remove the player that fused in the spike. Where the 2 rounds that they've lost this half have been those sneaky diffuses.
The gods,
broad light.
the gods are smiling on RRQ today.
You
but
have
they
to.
have to get across the finish line, right? This is all lovely stuff. They still need to land that final round. Now Fnatic still have finances, because most of the time they've lost the round when there's like 3 of them alive. So for now, they can still get this purchase. They still have Crashy's ult, but they need to stick the landing.
So good for RRQ to save the distances in the previous round, something that they also are doing in this one. Of course, Monier is the exception.
Gemkin! You absolute beauty. Now they start firing back. Insult to injury, salt to the wound. Alpha trying to play up some space here, take something away. Crashes does well, Gemkin goes down, trying to secure this plant, trying to play for a bit of safety, but they're surrounded. Kayak going to try and find it out, but Xpera going to find him. Trades out effectively. Alpha, 1v3, it's gonna happen!
Well said, RRQ.
3, baby!
Well said,
13 to 6, RRQ turns the hell up.
This is the RRQ that we were promised we were going to get in Toronto. That first seed coming from Pacific, a Gemkin that is the absolute star of this show. We're definitely going to see that third map. We will see you at Ascent.
लौड़े देखते क्या? एशियन में क्या होते? लौड़े लगते? यार मैं सच में बोस्टर को रिप्लेस करने जाना पड़ता शायद में अभी कुछ होता तो नहीं होता तेरे नाल प्रीता ओ तेरे नाल प्रीता लैया वे माही तेनू क्या दिख रहा ड्यूएबल नहीं था क्या गाइस एक तरफ से देखे तो ड्यूएबल था कि नहीं 2 जो वो लोग दिए कट के राउंड बूस्ट प्लांट के डिफ्यूज करने उनकी गलती है कि वो साइट कोई नहीं खेल रहा है सब लोग पीछे जाके गाड़ मारेंगे बोल के सोच रहे थे ना पोस्ट प्लान खाली एक ही टीम अच्छा खेलती सेंटिनल्स सच में पीआरएक्स को भी हकते हुए देखो पर पोस्ट प्लान तो जैसा सेंटिनल खेलती कोई नहीं खेलता लिख के ले लो तेरी अम्मा कुछ छोड़ दो एक ये आप चला रहे हो क्या अरे ऐसा मरा हुआ है तेरी वहां इनकी लोगों लैग हुआ अच्छा खत्म हो गया मैच ही खत्म शुरू करो अरे एक ही दो, एक ही दो, एक ही दो। अरे गलती से लिया रे भाई। एक ही अच्छी थी, एक ही। एक ही अच्छी थी। आना 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 आना। क्या हुआ इसको? कहाँ गया है? ओए कहाँ गए ये सामने कोई है ही नहीं इसके लिए। क्या सीन, अब बोला आते नहीं आते। देखो कार रेसिंग गेम खेलेंगे ऑनलाइन। भोसड़ी के skip to आंदो खाली आंदो। खाली करो। ले मिल गया भयंकर डाटा। हेलो कब होगा गाइस पूरा सर नान शुगा बोल के बोलो जिस दिन मन के भी हुआ ना पूरे रसूलपुरा में
I'm so sorry. Is anyone doing anything?
फिर से पार गया क्या गाइस?
Kayak's chilling.
Yeah, even the admins aren't like rushing over. Oh,
Kron is
the
chilling
ref's
too.
closing in. Hold on. Ref commentary time. Dun, dun. No?
Oh, even Alpha is relaxing.
He doesn't. I don't think he looks that relaxed. He looks terrified. In
फिर
my
से
mind.
करंट क्या
Because, look, if we can actually talk genuinely about this, it's a lot of pressure on that man. Now, the amount
Current
of
क्या
praise
guys,
that we've
सच्ची
sung
बता दो
of him
कुछ उसको।
throughout the years now
Current
is
क्या
never
तो?
ending, right? This guy was the original wonder kid, the one who came in and surprised everyone, the Turkish talent, right? You know, all of these accolades and epithets put towards him, and deservedly so. Last map was not ISO on paper for him has
Yesterday
started.
wasn't as well.
Exactly. These have been some really rough performances. Now he's the crowning piece, you know, in this composition potentially. This is pressure. If he
Attack
doesn't
is
perform here, Bayer, that is devastating.
Absolutely. And we've seen different faces of Fnatic on this ascent. The last 3 iterations, different compositions. We've seen them running the deadlock. And I want to see how this composition fits with them. Because as I'm saying, like, we've seen them playing the Vice before. It was actually Alpha playing on that Vice and not Chrome. We've seen a lot of double central, but it never had the name of Vice and Chamber on it. So I want to see how that makes a difference. It looks like we fixed it, thank freaking God.
It was one of the coach's connection issues. It's fine, it's all good. Let's remember where we were. Fnatic chose to start here on this attacking side. They chose this composition. They think it's got something to it. But these pistols have been elusive for them. They've not had the best of times! A Jemkin right off the rip. That's good damage. And it wasn't pretty, that fight, but Chronicle will take it. He'll be happy enough with a win on this.
43 now, RRQ moving on the
अरे
defense.
फिर से मारने को ये क्यों दे रहे? डुल अच्छा कर रहा था वो.
And Chronicle's just waiting for him.
He's ready like an absolute book. Control from Chronicle. As now Boaster should be set up as well. Yeah, this is just perfect.
Garden में घूम रहा था क्या
Everything
भाई?
the way they wanted.
I like
Pressure
also
for
getting the orb, something that has been very present, say, throughout this game. Getting those ultimates online. If you're going to start with a bang, if you have to do it from the attack, you're going to need those ultimates onto the sides. And for those executes, the spike is going to go down. No opposition on the other side. Kushi just coming in from the other side of the map.
And again, we roll our minds back to the fact that we have seen RRQ here. It was up against Wolves, and it wasn't a great performance in my mind. It actually that was the first time I was a bit worried, right? Seeing Jemkin not look quite as well played in on, maybe suffering a little bit. Kushi was great, but it wasn't the same sort of effect that we'd seen them have before. Their ability to kind of play around with Jemkin, play him in a lot. And again, it was one of those... I shouldn't be worried about this, right? I can go back to the whole narrative building thing, right? I can talk history. Right, okay. The crowd. Kushi! He takes a second glance. Oh my god, he's seen both of them. Stop it. Kushi, relax!
वो मस्त टाइमिंग वाला guys.
Some narrative, you were saying.
Right. Yes, this isn't the first time we've seen this map, and again, it's Kushi looking pretty good here, though. Gotta say,
I think it's very important that you resemble and you speak about that match that we saw against Wolves, because it was a 13-11.
We got pistol.
Here we go, baby.
Yes, you got pistol, and it was very defined by those pistols. Wolves won both of them, so you're in that scenario that advantage is already going onto the other team.
क्या लिखते रहते रे भाई सैलरी बढ़ाओ कम करो वही है क्या?
They need to start off strong. Just the same showing that we saw from RRQ on Haven.
And also, I do want to put a little bit of a caveat to me watching Jemkin. I want to see him back on really good entries as well, because he kind of fell off a little bit up against Wolves in that regard. Didn't see him having that same level of impact. If he can have this sort of like Haven resurgence, it's game on. For now, though, we're going to see Fnatic going through the motions here.
Marshall Gitzel क्या लेते रे?
Pressure up
आउटला लेने का
towards Cat
सीधा.
through short, glancing down by Tree. Lazy Guy is playing over towards this side, so a little bit of info already early towards Kayak's position.
Next round भी काम आता है आउटला एक बार लिए.
RRQ just leaving the space. Crazy Guy looking, using that knife. I think he didn't catch anyone.
Take flight.
And he's going to go down. A is completely open for Fnatic to take the spike down. And they're going to do it with no opposition. Again, 4 players from RRQ on the opposite side of the map.
अंडर मारता क्या?
Easy entry onto site for Fnatic.
अंडर ही मारा ना?
Nice pathing so far. Kind of getting their scaling right as well, just kind of getting some time on the server too. You talk about both these teams, they need a couple more reps, right? Feel out the tempo, get themselves situated. And for Alpha, it'd be nice to get that confidence up here too. Kayak looks like he's fine in that regard. Kron's having a lovely performance so far. Crashy's doing well, so mostly just eyes towards Alpha when it comes to that. But for RRQ,
retake try तो कर लो.
knowing
मर गए तो मर गए.
position they're in, they don't want to allow any build of those ults, but Fnatic are going looking.
Slowly but surely. Oh, they want the orbs.
Alpha, nice. Nice. And a third, not to be. But for him, that's great though. Again, you're building that ult early. You're building confidence early. Kushi, again, bro.
That's better than a Marshall. Yeah.
Like, the round's done. It's very similar to the first, but he's still farming up. He's still, I mean, you talk about farming ults. Kushi was the one as well. His ult before up against Wolves was one of the key factors that kept them in the game at times, really doing incredible work. So for me, it put him really on my radar. But gonna need to see this now in this sort of bonus situation for Fnatic.
Yeah, pretty evened out. Fnatic, as you say, not having all the credits in the world, and RRQ still looking to make that break in the scoreboard. But still, is very early in the game to see. I think that they obviously, I'm going to say they did not predict Fnatic to come out with a composition like this one, right? So they have a time of grace for Fnatic to come up with some very set plays, something that RRQ is just not prepared for.
Yeah, this is how well does RRQ learn on the fly too, right? This is going to be a big test here. Jemkin goes for a swing and he certainly misses. Alpha looking clean with that, but Monyet is not stopping. This seems a bit too risky for me. He's not really got to get out of jail free. The plan was flawed from the start. It felt like to make something happen over towards A main, but it's just fallen apart.
We just need a highlight reel of from this tournament because some of the massive impact in the round. 5-3 situation for Fnatic. Getting closer and closer to securing this bonus. But still, they're being cautious. Chronicle looking up for mid. Everybody just gather up, waiting
मस्त
for
मारता रे
RQ to
नियॉन
maybe
देना
go in the
टक्कर
aggression
आती है
again.
लेकिन उसको बेचारे को स्मोक आन दियो तो बुल्ला बेचारा ओमन से स्मोक करते करते टाइम नॉट खत्म होता
they
इसका
want to stick towards it. 3 players will be
अरे
here.
अरे रीड
Need someone to deal with this, and it is dealt with. Crazy Guy doesn't get cleared, but I think that they got a good read on it. Doesn't get affected by the shock dart.
Still has Yuto.
We're getting down to 30 seconds. This is where things can go wrong. It's when if crossfires aren't cleared, corners aren't checked, it can go terribly wrong, as Crazy Guy already does well. 20 seconds, where are you going, Fnatic? You got to keep fighting forward. And Crazy Guy reads it. He reads Chronicle's position absolutely perfectly. The smoke keeping him alive. 13 seconds, we're running out of time here. Flash here, buys a couple more seconds, and they are doing it. They're digging in their heels. Fnatic leaving it 2 minutes in the day. 4
just
seconds.
saying.
Xpero just needs to live here, surely. Just buy his time. No! He does more than that!
You forget.
He
I
sticks the
always
landing as Boaster falls. And the timer then forcing them forward.
शूटिया बना रहे क्या हम लोग
Flush in the end for
बस
RRQ.
4-3 हो घुसो स्मोक करो
Throwing that round for the side of Fnatic. Such a big amount of time.
भाई इतना टाइम था रोटेट करो ना
Not thinking. Crazy Guy being alive, just having that knife delayed them even more. This was such an issue yesterday. Again,
And you can see it's not good for
Minus-
the coaches.
minus
They're not
salary,
happy with
minus
that.
salary.
Again, that is
how
something
can you be?
that's-
That's a 5v3.
Yeah, it is. And that is
That could
going
have been how you snowball through his half.
Yeah, you're going to hear the ult though for Alpha. That is a big investment here and a very similar start. You're going to want to have Gemkin tucked in towards Wine. Paranoia is good, forcing the TP back. This time around, RRQ plant the banner towards A main.
क्या कर रहे Fnatic 3-0 रहता था
He's still on the line here. He's checked in front of that smoke. He's cleared it. So Fnatic now focused towards middle. Keep an eye on the spike though, deep towards spawn. They can't make any quick moves really.
We can secure that part of the map, and that is something that RRQ has learned to respect. Even from just this 3 rounds, with everything that is at stake and how close the previous round was. Chen Kim is waiting.
I'm looking at the rotation of Monyet too, is where does he decide to go? That deep smoke towards middle I think is causing him enough worry at this point, but they are coming back round towards A, so they are going to have their 3 players here. And holding the line is Jemkin. He's the one, Kayak, excuse me, just on the other side here, tries to play forward. Catches 1, catches 2! Kayak kicking open the door!
कजाकी बजाता रे इन लोगों को सब भी
He's there when you need him.
पहले डर के था भी
Fnatic
कजाक
need something, a spark. He ignites. Xpero and Cushy, I think we know their job now is to try and survive.
That play from Kayak, though, was everything. The TP, the everything, all the flashes. He just got into Jemkin's head, and that is not an easy matter at all.
दिमाग अच्छा लगा है ना पहले वो उसको
5v2,
भेजा
surely
अपने
this one,
क्लोन को
yeah,
फिर
it's secured.
फ्लैश करने पे
We
सोचा
already
कि
see
वही
the
आ रहा
players
होगा
from
सोच के मारते हैं
RRQ
मारा ही मारा
saving for the next round. I want to see a very good repetition of what Kayak just did there.
My camera is destroyed.
If he can find consistency in that
Jare
level,
Loro,
of form, he is
Yo,
arguably
Herdon,
one of
ek
the
haath
best
piche
players
rakh ke.
as it stands. And there was a lot of discussion about it. Of course, there's a lot of standouts from various regions. Obviously, with the Teo coming in, how much does that affect, or the Teo going out, should I say? But Kayak overall was, most of the M people's top 5s, top 3s, if not, maybe even higher.
Yeah, and seeing Fnatic for the first time without Durke in the international stage, with the name that he had made for himself. Now you're seeing someone else, and he puts out this kind of plays, and you know that he earned that spot. Kushi's going to find crashes at the end of that round.
And again, the interesting factor about Kayak for me is that when he first joined this roster, he wasn't the superstar instantly. There were rumors, there were whispers of his ability in Tier 2, how good he was at dominating that space, but he didn't hit the ground running perfectly. But the potential was there, and now it's absolutely actualized.
Jemkin walking out at the perfect time, just getting the free kill for him.
ये हारने के बाद टाइम आउट होता देखो पक्का
What a play
उसके
from
बाद
the
बाई
duelist.
रन आने का टाइम आउट लेते
RRQ, the money ain't good. The ultimates are getting there. Kushi already has his. And Alpha's just going to be investing into that outlaw. Again, when the money's not good and with the shields, definitely not going to be heavy. It's a very, very good investment to make. Keeps you safe for the rest of the round, for the rest of the half, sorry. Building up that economy.
मार
Sort of double stack though. It's not worked out, but I like it. Oh wait, this is a big old investment to throw in from Cushy there. That felt maybe a bit too desperate for me.
This composition is a pain in the ass because
It's
there's
slippery.
so many TPs.
Yeah. on the Yoru.
Oh!
And again, with Jemkin, you can understand the temptation to want to play into it, maybe them lingering around in middle, just encourage that. But again, just walks into it. He was meant to be maybe the ace up the sleeve, but it isn't at all. Messi there from Crashies. He's very aggressive to keep his life. And if they continue this pathing towards B, there's still 2 players here. They are only with classics, but there's a lot of damage done here. Oh my god. It's jump scare on Alpha, who stays alive. 3 kills for himself. This is not 30 seconds. Nice clearance. Crazy guy. And that is diligence from Chronicle. Very good. Very, very good. Now, Cushy, you're not gonna do it. That's fine. This was a bit dangerous from Fnatic, but it worked out. And again, I get the temptation again, even from Cushy. Pop the ult, maybe catch him on Cat. It's a bit closed in, but this composition is so slippery. Those TPs to get out of danger.
It's so annoying. Like, you think you have them, you think you can have a refrag, you think you can go on as 2 and maybe have an advantage, and it just disappears. Alpha Year snaps out of it. Kayak just embraces and gets out of it as well. Boaster can get into almost any position with those TPs as well.
Yeah.
But those 2, especially those 2, with that trade denial potential, Jenkin with the operator now, he has to make a difference.
Yeah, he's been a bit hot and cold in middle so far. It feels like he's just behind the wheel sometimes, just off the tempo and the timing. Couple layers between them here, but Alpha's been on 1-2. He has been having a good start. Yeah, some eco farming, sure, but 8-3 nevertheless. Trying to be played in by Crashies. And this should be Jemkin now ready himself to gets out of danger. He's not fancying sticking around here. Almost tailor-made poison on the catch there towards Market. Jemkin's got Alpha though, and they've still got control of B main. The initial plan is not going to be keeping coming this way. Surely they adjust.
Something attack में chop करता है. वो drone के जैसे जाता, same drone के जैसे. Drone क्या जाता?
Right, it doesn't even seem open.
Scan कर लेते हो, scan कर देता हूँ.
The judge controlling this space still. Oh my god, the timing. The timing. He was within lethal.
Oh, फिर भी मारा रे मोनिया.
Stay on the ghost.
Curious मोनिया वापस आ
This
रहा है.
guy's still here, and this kind of adjustment of plan is difficult for Fnatic. Kayak going to clear through Jemkin though, opens up a chance, and Crazy Guy feels so. There's no safety on this site, right? Look where that spike is. They're up. Oh my god, it's Pharaoh. It depends where they go with this now. This could be everything or it could be nothing. That dart does not reveal. The Crashies heads up as ever. They are taking the tour of Ascent, and they are seemingly winning it, navigating past most of the danger. The TP is here. Monyet makes it in time, but he still just has that judge. He's got the ghost, he sees them. Paranoia in play, he's still trying to make this one work. 15 seconds, can he buy the precious time here? Kayak watching for it, waiting. Plant comes in. Monyet can't affect it yet. Waiting for support to come in, but Crazy Guy's a mile away, and they know it. By this point, even Kron's made it over here. He's up by Market. Oh!
Crazy Guy.
Pops the ult, but it's Chronicle, ice cold in these situations. But there's a timer on what he can do. Gotta get going! Chronicle! Always so damn cold!
Nice one,
Such a close round in the end though, with Crazy Guy getting those 2 kills, but the Red Bull clutch goes for Chronicle this time around. Little bit of the overcook, and as you were saying, the tour that Fnatic went on that round, just giving us a different version of themselves in each of these rounds. At the beginning of it,
enemy remaining.
I was looking forward to what the Vice could do on that B side. But seeing Fnatic getting round after round here, 5-1, celebrating. Please don't break the coach room. Of course, it calls for a timeout on the RRQ side. Now, Lauren, I have a question for you.
Okay.
So RRQ have already played Ascent this tournament, right? Like we've seen them with the changes and whatnot into this patch. This is what they bring. Who do you think has the bigger advantage coming into this? Is it RRQ because they have already gotten that rep that, you know, with the first seed curse, not getting the reps onto stage, not getting a feel of how you're doing? Or Fnatic with a completely new composition that God knows how it's going to work, and not having that official practice on it?
I mean, Fnatic get to walk in with no one else to be like prepped up against them, right? Which is a dangerous Fnatic. Now, of course, the comp could have fallen on its face potentially, right? Like maybe Alpha has a terrible start, but again, for RRQ, it becomes the question of their ability to learn on the fly. Can they find the adjustments? It's hit round 7, they've gone for the timeout, that's fine, that's fair. But it's unlikely they're going to convert this one. To get the beat on this round, you're always going to be behind the curve. It gives that nice little step up for Fnatic because they hit the ground running, and it's hard to adapt now.
And this round for RRQ would mean a lot. As we can see, Jemkin is 1 away from his ultimate. He secures 1 kill, and he could be the difference maker. Round number 7. Frame very close. Fnatic again going for this mid control.
That's a good spot.
And they've done this before.
अरे शॉटगन लेके बैठा रहे ने तो
Right, but you can see the Fnatic, we talk about learning on the fly, they certainly are, but Monyet picks the right target, plucks away Alpha and backs away. Crazy Guy now gets contact. They've read a lot of this. They've got an idea of where 3 players are out of the 4 that still stand for Fnatic.
And blocking the eyesight, of course.
नहीं
We see
नहीं निकलता
Kayak
मेरे ख्याल
ready
से तो
to get on that TP. He also has his ultimate, but oh, he decides to go for it, gathering all the information
देख इधर
onto
शॉटगन है
A.
इधर शॉटगन है
I mean, it's a bold play.
फिर क्यों
But
drone
they
है?
still have to walk into a pretty stacked site here. Change out of Paranoia as Monyet waits. Tucked behind Dice. Kayak can't really challenge the back of the site here. They might get stuck in towards main. Not again, surely. Kayak just pries open the site. Apparently that's all they need. Kayak just strolling in is enough to get them over the potential hurdle. Sparrow just a second behind. As now, this is a pretty much done round.
Pretty much done. Still Fnatic, they work for those orbs. Crashes, gets one closer to his ultimate, and speaking about ultimates, with this plant, Chronicle
एक
gets
मान में
his.
लंड निकलता क्या
Kayak wants it.
देख लिया
That's brutal. Fnatic though, another step in the right direction, and they needed this after map 2. It was a blowout pretty much. Embarrassed in map 2 by RRQ. The way those rounds went down in that second half should be haunting them. This is exactly what the Doctor would have ordered though. A quick, decisive reaction. A lot in the hands of Kayak and Alpha, and both of them doing exactly as they need to.
And RRQ need to make a decision. We saw that timeout, yes, the previous round. The economy wasn't the best, but maybe some aggression, maybe just setting up some of the plays. They need something else beside that bonus that it wasn't theirs to take even. That 3v5. They need to find that kind of energy. Moni has been deadly. Not only in the previous map, but also here. Definitely being a nuisance.
And I like this. I like the way they're using the Vice to kind of scale up on the map again, kind of using
फिर से आप ले रहे बाबा
Vice to
तू
go down the
बीजेपी
thorns
का
over
ऑफ हो भी
towards
जाए
short, kind of then using that as a way to take space safely off the back too. It's really
बस
nice
सच्ची में
layering
टीम
for this
मार
mid
के
control
गुजारे
that they've been trying to,
कैसे
I guess, work through for most of the opening exchanges in this map. So far so good. First time we've seen Fnatic start with a little bit more pressure towards that B main, but it doesn't look like they're particularly sticking around here. This high attention to detail over towards Cat once again re-emerging.
Taking the
छोड़
time.
दिए अब भी नहीं
You know,
है
the Fnatic are definitely good at doing that. Feel comfortable.
I need to see some discipline from Jemkin too, because there's obviously that want to play into it and be pivotal and be aggressive in a way, but he has been caught on a couple of timings by Alpha in middle. I want to see him find a way to deal with that tempo now.
Speaking about tempo, Kayak is ready to walk. He's going to be spotted.
30 seconds left.
2 of the players, the rotation coming in from RRQ. And again, they might
तो
find each
करेंगे
other at
स्मोक
CT.
उधर आया बोलते
20 seconds.
TP, and this is now running really late. Okay, this will help things, but I think Monyet might have been out of it, but Kayak gonna catch the rotate. Jemkin goes down again, 10 seconds, please don't make him.
10 seconds left.
This could be unthinkable if he denies the plant on this one. Oh my god, Monyet! That might have been everything! Look at the time now, it's too late! I'm pretty sure this is way too late, Monyet! Makes a monstrous play
मॉनी गेम चेंज कर दिया रे पूरा
I just cannot believe it keeps happening. At some point, you might think,
सिर्फ एक
no,
मारना
it's
था
not
ना
gonna
एक
happen
जो
this
मेन
time
बंदे को
around.
मारना
They
था
know how
उसको ही
to play
मारा
with
ने
the
पकड़ के
time. They're
बैगन
going
की
to
पूरी
leave for at least a couple of
प्लान
options.
करते ये
But with
भाई
so many
वर्ल्ड
players
वर को
around,
झापड़ मारा
you're not
इतनी
having the
इतनी बंदे को
information
मारने
of
का
what
था
is on site, what is
कुछ
on
मारा
main. Just leaving this onto the last second when you've worked towards the map, when you've worked that information
क्या बात है
layer
रे
by
मॉनी
layer,
क्या बात है
corner
रे
by corner.
Good thought.
Yeah, good hold. Good hold. Exactly.
But again, though, these are the cracks that will be there in this attack from Fnatic. It won't be perfectly smooth yet. They won't be in that complete consideration. I think some of the issues of this round started before that point, how late it was. If RRQ leave them a little bit of space, sit a little bit deeper, make them work for their dinner, how do they navigate this? Now, normally it's been Kayak kicking down A and just getting 2. But if they're made to slow play through this map, how does that fare? Really need to see Jemkin playing this perfectly, though, because again, he might be the one in that crosshair instantly.
Alpha pushing with that operator, but RRQ, they're not giving a single inch. They know what they're facing, and they know what's worked for them.
And I like this. Sitting a bit deeper, as I said, I think is a good reaction. Fnatic do like this late control towards tree. They've been playing it. And I also like this push out towards B main. This hasn't been an area they've been contesting often. This gives them good information. This is solid. This is a nice approach. 45 seconds, and none of that contested space has been taken by Fnatic yet, barring maybe Cat and now Tree. They can't late play back into B because they're going to be so behind the curve on the information. And that's divine from Jemkin. The spike is pivoting. Now, it's going to be a crunch. Chronicle's good at this, but if they keep their eyes on the prize here, and again, Xpero does do well on towards Kayak, but late in the day, they've made the run work here. Chronicle saving them from what could have been a disaster. It felt like RRQ started to get the read on sitting deep, making them explore further, but Fnatic saved by Chronicle's diligence. But it's still a 3v3. It's not impossible, just a little improbable when you look at who's here. Chronicle's control is legendary. Swings off the pop of the ult, but that's a player without a gun in their hands. They can try and gap close, and they are. You can see it away. Boaster shot through the smoke, catching Jemkin. Monyet looks for a target, dives in on site. Can't quite control on the first try. Can't get the spray. Crazy guy now needs a 1v3 as Fnatic holding all the cards.
क्या मारा रे? Chronicle game change किया.
एमएन
से आके 2 को उठाया, 3 को उठाया, 2 को उठाया.
And Chronicle has been all that this entire match. The condition and also that he's been making in this map. 30 seconds. Constant pain.
I mean, if he didn't do that, I think the round
ये
would
तो
be done.
तुक्का ही था, ठीक है, फिर भी मार दिया.
Coming back to these sort of late rotations, if you
Boaster
are
नहीं
clearing
खेलता
this
अच्छा.
space as well as he does, you're done.
With two of the players, like the movement.
If I would give the chance, I would
good.
just
Yes.
replace
Two of the
Boaster
players
with
just
me.
waiting for this to happen. We also saw the utility from Cypher on site.
अरे
They
हाई-फाई
were
दे
ready.
पट्टे को
They were
यार, तो निकले जा
prepared.
रहा.
And then Chronicle happens.
And now they might fall into the trap of got to get proactive with these ults, play in towards this fight on Cat. The temptation, obviously, so sweet, but again for Fnatic, they've been really good at clearing this. And you can see Kayak is so locked in. Oh my god, he snapped back so quick. And again, this was kind of off the back of that want of maybe playing in Jemkin a little bit, taking some of that space, but Xpero's the one to do well here. Taking away Chronicle is huge.
Absolutely. They've been putting up a lot of utility to those drones that we were speaking of. Not only he gets the kill, he also gets to use his ultimate.
Oh, I like this as well, though. You take space on one side, but in the meantime, they push so much deeper towards A main. They don't need to go further than this. With him being here, you get so much information, and again, it was a mistake that was made before that Monyet managed to punish in that wild round with that timing. So they can cheat the rotations over towards B. They can get these players here way earlier because of that pushed out position. This is now going to be one of those later rounds.
उधर info है पे क्योंकि MN कोई नहीं है.
I don't think
of
so.
course B या mid होगा.
They have the players in the right place here. Last time Kron was the one who was god tier at playing from this, but it looks like a focus towards top middle.
एक second में game बदल.
Doubting themselves, it felt like wanting to check, wanting to make sure, but they were right in the read. But the timing now wrong as Fnatic get the red carpet rolled out towards B as the plan next. In the steps to be taken, Cushy trying to thread a needle that I don't think is potentially there. Takes away one. That is a Vandal picked up. Good util still left here as well, but Crazy Guy just about making it over here. And Crashy's making him do the dance, right? Putting him through the paces. We're going to need like a shot in the dark, right? We're going to need something. What do you have here? Cushy taking the first step. Nice off the flash, but he couldn't quite land it. Boaster in the back lines, doing what is necessary. That makes it sound like I was saying the dance was necessary, that, less so. But 8-2 Bayer, they're in control.
8-2 and looking very dominant. Yes, those 2 rounds that they lost, big mistakes, very big mistakes. Good to see them back in the board. And RRQ in this round made the worst decision that they could make. And it's giving Fnatic what they want. They're waiting for such a long time for you to make a mistake, for you to take the step.
नाचता क्या रे Boaster? दूंगा कल्ली वही time out फिर से.
The prime of Boaster. Astra.
Oh, right.
He's a very good Astra. Like when Astra was on top, he was very good.
Now,
especially even like maps like Fracture and whatnot. Yeah.
You actually answered that honestly. I was just flaming.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But RRQ gonna burn this time out here, right? Because I do feel like they've had the right reads a good couple of times. I think even that first time out was correct. I think them playing deeper. I think them playing into that, but they lacked the conviction in the right call in that last round, and that's the devastating part. They were right about it and then just misplayed it at the end. So, as said, this to me feels like they're watching this game fall between their fingertips.
These first halves are being so one-sided. Both of the teams using both of the timeouts, or their timeouts, in the first half. But you have to get back on the board. You might say that they have the right read, but it really looks like Fnatic are doing whatever they want with them. You think like, oh, the Euro wants the TP here, I'm not going to allow it. I know that Alpha is going to try and get that space. But actually, it's working. So for Fnatic, a couple more rounds. Already 6 rounds of difference in the scoreboard. Alpha, you're just feeling so comfortable pushing with that operator. Jenkim needs to go back and prove to us that he has what it takes.
Fuck!
What he had on Haven. And I feel like we've seen this round 3,000 times.
Hey, if it's working.
I'm already tired of this comp. Nah.
But aggression down middle, it's not looked good, actually. Again, I think that Jemkin's been very, very willing to go for it, but it's just not worked for him at all. Alpha's generally been having his number in this. It's not looked easy for him by any means.
This time they go for the litter aggression onto me, trying to force something complemented with the utility, and the one shot that he hits is on Kayak's bone. So not looking the best there.
And he does have a little bit of utility to play with, I guess. Invested kindly by Xfero, but now he's on the chopping block. Like, what do we do? Okay, well, okay, you just headshot Kayak, I guess, is what we do, but it's a one and done. There's no furthering that. And now the map's split in half. 2 on either side. Where does Fnatic decide to go? They've won the mid-fight completely. That's the spike going through
30
That's
seconds.
really, really isolated.
Yeah.
Okay, the rest are coming up here, but I was a bit worried he was on his own. Now, no one was there to punish him. We're seeing how deep RRQ are sitting. This is Fury, gonna find a man. Ooh, and the follow to Alpha goes down. Okay. Now, do they scarper?
किधर देख रहा था मोन्ने को मारने का था रे
Again.
देख रहा भी नहीं था मैं
Feel like a broken
और ही
record,
देख
but
रहा
running
था
out of time and running out of options. Fnatic luckily have 8 rounds, so it's not been that much of a big deal. But this is how they've been losing them. 2 seconds, they're just going to let it fizzle out. It's not the most explosive way to get to 3, but RRQ will take it.
Absolutely. I think that timeout, maybe for the side of Fnatic, is, guys, you're doing well, keep it going. For the side of RRQ, take the right timings, learn when to push. Let's put a little bit of pressure onto them and see how they respond to that. Super important, this ultimate from Pushy and this kill.
वो जब 16 का लगता तब भी दिखता रे ड्यूलिस्ट खेल लेना था रे रेज योरो नियॉन वगैरह खेले तो तब मजा
आता है. A minute and 9 seconds to get the spike down for Fnatic. That is outrageous and obviously the highest in playoffs.
ज़्यादा दिमाग लगा रे.
In the cake.
Of course. Happy 5 years, everybody.
Yeah, congrats.
करो guys. मच्छर.
Now, what do we see here? I'd like to see Fnatic almost kind of playing with a gear shift, which actually looks like they are now, because again, you've almost lulled RRQ into a sense of safety that is not here. Kushi trying to find him, but it's actually Xfero who's called Boaster. And Fnatic have really held up towards B main.
तीन
Ability to do something with this. Commits towards Boathouse, crashes now and comes out, but there's 3 players on site. This is
I'm not sure about this, Lauren.
Fnatic could be caught up in the blender here, but they still need to land the shots if you're RRQ. Easy, this is so tense. I like the idea of the gear shift, but something slowed them down towards main that just stopped them actually committing.
4v4 on site.
God, please be
अरे
disciplined,
spam मारना
RRQ.
इसको
You
तो.
don't need to do too much. We said it before when they made that play towards top middle. They got almost, they got into their own heads about it. They're once again right about this. They don't need to change. They hold these positions, hold this line. They make it hard for Fnatic, but here we go. Alpha unleashing Fury, but the site is still not clear. You got 30 seconds and 2 more to find. Kushi. Are you the hero to
रीड
step
तो
up
होगा
for
ये भी यहीं था
RRQ,
बोल
or
के.
Fnatic just passed that hurdle. It's perfect. Takes 1, doesn't expect the follow-up though. Alpha was the one getting those kills on cap before. He loses his head for a second. And with 14 seconds, the plant is in. That doesn't make things easier. Chronicle is... Oh my god, he's so low on HP too. 3 HP is all that's there. Alpha, back of the
Alpha से क्या है मेरे?
Back into basically the second half, 3-9 Bayer. Fnatic look good in this form. They've given themselves a buffer. It wasn't perfect, but it's better than nothing.
But when you think about those mistakes, those rounds that they lost, they got perfectly wrong. They need to get back on the drawing board. This competition is giving us so much. I cannot wait for what we're going to see on the defense.
Nice switch, good switch. क्या चल रहा है गाइस तुम लोग एक चीज चुप रहे बहुत ठीक है अरे मेरा गर्दन पकड़ लिया रे भाई. कल ये मैच देखना है गाइस. कल तो हमी से चुरा लिया गाइस. कल बैटल ऑफ गोलाइट्स. एक टीम डिफेंस में अच्छा करती, एक टीम अटैक में अच्छा करती, एक टीम पूरा अटैकिंग माइंडसेट से, एक डिफेंसिव माइंडसेट से, एक रीटेक अच्छा करती, एक अटैक अच्छा. क्या मैच है कल, क्या ही मैच है कल, क्या 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 ही मैच है. लगा 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 रे, लगा 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 रे पिया प्रेम रोक. लगा 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 रे, लगा 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 रे. ये लगा पहले मैच हुआ क्या कभी तभी? लगा 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 रे मेरा प्रेम रोक. किसका
Rough
तगड़ा है
for them.
अभी?
So the Coinbase econ report kind of highlighting some of that here with, again, small number, not good.
Most
Excited for tomorrow, by the way. Laga laga
did not
laga ray.
expect today's match. This is not the way you expected to close things out if you were RRQ. Hey, not everything is set. Starts with a pistol though,
It certainly
as we
does.
always say.
It certainly does. And Fnatic weren't loving them before, right? They were
I mean, even if they
hard
got the pistol, yeah.
But here we go. Final half to be had. Map 3 between the two of them. RRQ bringing out all the big guns in map 2. But map 3 could be all over in a blink of an eye. They need this pistol.
भाई एशियन में 9-3 कर्स चलता है. कुछ भी बोलो, चलता है उसमें 9-3 कर्स.
Instant aggression.
बहुत गांडू चीजें पर चलती इसमें 9-3 कर्स.
Nothing on the other side from Fnatic. Boaster just walks away. And Kayak takes an advanced position on B main.
Yeah, I like it. Again, you can get out of jail free. Just got to keep your eye on the timing. See the consideration of a mid-walk. Not happened yet. Double stack up towards market. Kayak, the early warning system. And a lethal one at that. Does get out of there. Xfero now will control that corner, but it's only seeing a Cypher. It doesn't give you everything you want. But now not alone. Walks back in with Kron, but he falls. Body blocked almost. Kron though tries to play it forward. Didn't want to back away, and now they speed up on the execute. Banging shot from Boaster there. Catching just the corner of Monyet and quickly threads ahead.
एक
And
लड़का
you've got
ही
a fast rotate coming in from Crazy Guy, who's all the way over towards that A side of the map. So late positioning towards main, but Boaster's ahead of it. Paranoia still in play. Smoke still there. Dart as well. But no synergy on that? I don't know if
तीन मार दिया रे
I saw
रशिया
them from
फरेरो.
him. Would rather maybe hold that space and play back in together, but now
अगर ये retake करे कसम से मत लड़ रहे.
still got util. As said, this is pretty big for them. But that late positioning towards main is rough. It's keeping Alpha's eyes towards it. Timing, the factor, got to get a move on, got to get going, and they're playing the game. This could be doing the dance with them, right? Going to make them work for it. Crashies, damage! But 2 more to go, and Crazy Guy's position is the checkmate. Monyet just needs to live, and he does more than that. It's a pistol for RQ. And a little bit of a weird choice from Boaster there.
And it's so good that they were patient in that round. We got the orb, we just still follow the plan. We're lucky enough to get this first base hit onto Kayak, who had already taken a bit of damage. We secure it with the 1 for 2, and we go on to plant this fight. Boaster, I think in that situation,
That's our pistol,
it's
boys.
kind of a dilemma, right? You don't have the information of
Yeah,
where the rest of the players are. It can be coming from main. You need to move. You do not have really the time to wait for the rest of your teammates. No ideal scenarios, but for RRQ, only 5 rounds separate them now from Fnatic, and this should be the 5th one for them.
Xfero's been a pretty safe pair of hands in my mind as well. He's been rather good in these sort of positions. So let's see how he plays if they do decide to crest that corner and explore further. For now, it's just a stack, leaving Alpha as the pretty much the bastion of hope on the A site, right? The one-man turret over there. But it's patient again from RRQ, maybe trying to get the lay of the land themselves. Is there a mid-walk? Is there a stack? They need to be using some of the util to clear this at some point. Maybe waiting for that util to cycle back up.
With the composition that they're playing up against, taking this time in. Also, Fnatic has been fairly aggressive in the rounds that they've had. No economy.
Fnatic pistol
They're walking towards it.
Yeah, but hopefully
Stack
they use some of that lovely utility they've got loads of,
Read
right?
अच्छी है, wrist tag भी अच्छी है.
I'm still a bit nervous here. Yeah, okay, I think they felt the danger in that, even just the cam being cleared as it was. And here comes, let's see if that control is in play. No, Crashy's quick on his feet, as Alpha does need to back away. Expected reposition, Jemkin, eyes already trained towards it, plants in play. It's dangerous, but they find stability. Now they need to keep Cushy and Jemkin living in this, though. Those two Vandals are precious cargo. Cushy layering in the util, keeping them chipped down as best he could. But Crashies with that Bulldog is the dangerous factor. They are all eyeing up coming through from here. Knife fantastically timed. Catching at least 3 of them, denying this springboard in. Paranoia goes, Cushy now out of the situation. Alpha finds Crazy Guy. Jemkin goes down, suddenly crashes in a 1v2. Again, difficult, but desperate to try. Monyet, once again, the final man standing. And suddenly that scoreboard doesn't look so impossible.
ये जितना पड़ता है ना तो हार नहीं match.
Moving on to the next round. RRQ, as you're saying, 5 on the board. This looks perfectly doable. We've seen them having very strong starts, converting the bonus. Will almost make this a very, very even affair. Again, we still have to see how this composition from Fnatic really works on the defense. And I think we're going to get a very fair showing now. How Alpha is going to be positioned, how they use having that and the Euro as well. We can see now as all the utility from Chronicle on his first Vice over onto A.
Yeah, big switch up in that. As obviously until this point for the Pistols, they did have Alpha kind of soloing out on towards that A site as much as they could. Put a lot of faith in towards him here. And the walk back comes in towards B. So trying to steady themselves. Kayak has been solid. That's a player spotted here. And he's sticking around on this. I'm a bit worried he stays so close here. Oh my god. Thankfully, that wall now reinforced, a little less of an issue.
That's 3 people spotted. That's what we see. All that utility coming down. X-Pharaoh actually gathering that orb for the
He's a brave boy.
Just in case someone else gets the kill.
Ooh, did they spot? I don't know if they spotted Alpha. They kind of looked down, but I don't think they did. Lazy clear. Oh my.
Fuck!
What is that? You do not do that every day. A mess made by Alpha, being gifted the chance of the gods from that. And now that all comes into play. That is perfect. And look instantly at where they're heading. It's Kayak and Crashies though. Big boys on the server here. Big players. 25 seconds getting late in the day. They decide to slip towards the site.
Alpha ka game
to come, but it ain't even here. They're just powering on in. Crashies find some safety in the smoke. And I say that very tentatively. Chronicle going to catch the heels of X-Pharaoh. It's game on. Fnatic, they thrive apparently when the time's so late. Monyet can't find this many players in this little time. Fnatic, it got dangerous. But Alpha just stood up.
Oh no.
He stood up.
Okay.
Where's the glue gone? Someone find the glue. Stick him to that chair. It's dangerous because this round as well, I like what they did. Alpha. Oh.
He's celebrating for the rest of them. It's not for him.
Okay, so that's okay.
बचा लिए मेरी गांड बचा लिए तुम ना मेरी गांड मारते हो सब लोग मिलके बोल
Nice anchoring, Kayak. You're doing a brilliant job over in B. Doesn't matter. Was the bonus for RRQ. There's still plenty of chances. 3 to be exact.
And again, they're still having to learn to face this comp, right? Oh my god, what? Kayak just drifted out.
The opener again.
Yeah, Jemkin's starting to get these entries going, and that shot wasn't clean enough to truly punish Cushy, so he keeps his life. But Alpha's temptation is still here. He's trying to be proactive. Oh, the timing. Oh my god, you are lucky to be breathing, Crazy Guy. Spray off with Vandals always seems like a terrible idea, but it's fine. So far, they bully their way up Cat. Looking towards the A side, but Chronicle has been the safest player. Always so deadly in these situations. Let's see how well he does in this new role here Prodigal's gone down, but Alpha
Nice one.
stomps into the site. 3
Oh!
Bam! Back-to-back damage. Now down to 2, 45 seconds, much more time, but the final boss of Alpha seems to be standing.
door बंद है.
Slip in the net, but it seems to be considered. Already pinged out. Boaster eyeing this up, but timing is everything. And he's got it. Expero falls, leaving just one man alive in Alpha's corner. Has not
Let's
been
go!
this
Let's
time.
go!
Gets away with it with 4 kills, and apparently the curse is broken.
The curse is broken, it doesn't matter, but he's not standing up this time around. It doesn't matter that he got the 4K. You know, you don't play with lags like that. Not a second time around. Struggled to find the first one, it doesn't matter. He closes up with 4. But it couldn't have been possible without the paranoia, the flash from Vice, putting all of that pressure on a team that's trying to execute on you. 11 for Fnatic, 2 away from continuing a lower bracket run. RRQ now, as you can see on your screens, the economy is not the best. Jenkin 1 away from his ultimate, working with the shorty, trying to get that orb, or at least they're going to try and fight for it.
Oh, paranoia.
It's no follow-up though.
Yeah, kind of scarpering, but timing-wise, Fnatic coming into their own in moments like this is dreamy for them. After a brutal map 2, their creativity being rewarded here as that 12th round looking ever so likely. Alpha strikes, 20 kills for him. After what was genuinely a very hard map 2 and not a particularly brilliant map 1, he has found his form when he needed it, when Fnatic needed it. Hallmark of a good player. Shot goes astray that time. But RRQ looking for ways forward, and there aren't too many. Again, gotta say it, Chronicle in this role. Lovely to see, but Jemkin tries to close in. Oh, it was laboured, but it's got the job done. Caught on the cross though, Alpha.
Oh!
That is the man we were just talking about. The beast himself, the Wonder Kid, is back.
And he's standing up to celebrate. This is 100% deserved. What a crazy run from him. I need to see that shot again. I need to see that shot again.
I know Kunkun's not here, but it's nice to see shots out of the sky like that. I'll take that every day of the week. Now, is it over? Was RRQ's hopes and chances dashed by this brand new composition? It looks creative. It looks like it's on the money, and it's given Alpha that real resurgence here.
Absolutely. Sphera forced out. One of his cages gone.
Here.
7 in a row needed for RRQ, and Alpha's waiting on the other side.
3 players, 3 bodies to try and drop. So far, they make it past the first hurdle. But he's not missing now! Alpha stepping up to a new level here. Crazy guy, Cushy, Xfero, that's all that they've got to bank on. And Cushy's a mile away. Position noted. He's got the spike too. If he goes down, that could be just done for. But no, they don't swing into it. They play this cautiously. They play it right.
Slowly but surely.
Flash needs to be perfect. It ain't gonna do the job. They're waiting. And Kayak there. It's been a 1-2 punch the whole time.
Well played,
It's either
guys.
Kayak or Alpha. And Xfero has to face the music. It is done. Fortune favoring the bold. Fnatic bringing out a brand new look, securing their safety and survival in the lower bracket.
It's not been an easy road for them, and the road ahead does not get any easier, but they can be happy.
Well played यार. क्या खेली रे Fnatic. मजा आया कैच. कल गाइस प्लीज ट्यून इन हो जाना प्लीज. कल शाम को जो मैच है ये दुनिया का मैच नहीं है वो. PRX वर्सेस सेंटिनल्स. बुल्ले मिला देते सेंटिनल्स का. अपन सेंटिनल्स के सपोर्ट करेंगे. आ जाओ प्लीज टर्न इन. ठीक है बाय टेक केयर. दूसरी बार बोलो नक्को हिलो.